at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
This is Houston Control. Checking for backup. Backup initiated. Locking down all ports. Clear. And we are good to go.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Coming to you live 250 miles above your imagination in this hunk of crap we call the International Fake Station. If you believe that this is floating around a ball somewhere, I can't help you. The containment issue still stands. Sorry. Don't know what to tell you, folks. The containment issue still stands. So I got to figure out what to do about this lighting. Seems like I'm getting a lot of bright light from the computer itself. Might have to end up moving the camera a little bit forward or back or so. I don't know. Anyway, we'll deal with that shit later. We got this thing back, and oh my God, what a debacle that whole situation was. You guys aren't going to believe this. All right. So, as you all know, we'd started running into issues during the streams. It first started where I started freezing up, right? And I tried to narrow down every reason why that would be. And I ended up going through Geek Squad. And I said, hey, guys, everybody hear me okay out there? Just to make sure. Everything good? Just wanting to make sure. Told them what my problem was. So this lady, I assume it was a lady. Yeah, it was. I think. I don't know. It's hard to tell. They had names that were hard to pronounce. So anyway, they put me through to a remote access guy. And some guy got into my system, did a whole bunch of shit. I was watching the screen go all around. And said, okay, there you go. You should be fixed. So we ran the stream, and what happened to us? This thing inexplicably booted on us. Why was it booting on us? That's not cool. It's not booting any other time, but when I'm running this camera, so I thought, okay, it might be my camera. So I got another camera. And that's the one that's up there right now. That's why I don't have a spot on my face. You see? Oh, I know what to do. Oh, I know what it is. Hang on a second. I know exactly what it is. Just one sec. I had to remember I have myself mirrored in this stupid thing. Hang on. There. That might be a little better. That might actually. That is. Fuck yes, I did it. Okay. Wow. See, anybody that ever claims to be an expert on the property of light is on a fool's errand. I will tell you that. What a strange energy source light is. Anyway, so it was rebooting on us. Okay, so I call again, or I get a hold of them again. And they said, all right, we're going to send a technician out to your house. I'm like, beautiful, hands-on shit. And probably somebody that has English communication skills. This is going to work out good. So he come out here and he run all these tests and everything else like that. And he did something about updating video drivers and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. We went on. What happened to us? Sov went into hyperspace a bunch of times. Luckily, people on my panel were able to keep the show going while I was, in and out of hyperspace. So then I made this appointment. I called him back. I talked to him. I says, look, here's the problem, right? And I explained it. I says, when I am streaming on YouTube or any other video platform, I'm not even using OBS. So it's not my OBS software. I'm using online shit that I never had problem with before. This thing now starts rebooting. So she said, okay, take it in. We're going to set you an appointment. So I had to drive 35 miles to Harrisonburg. And the lady said, take your computer with you, the camera. And I told her, I said, I've done it with 2 cameras. I have 2 cameras. One's brand new and one's the other one that I was using. She goes, so take the cameras, your cord, and the PC unit in to the Geek Squad. So I did. I took it in there. When I went and dropped it off, I says, now here, the lady told me to bring the cameras and the cord. And I said, oh, we're not going to need that. Now, I'm assuming Tech Place, and they're at Best Buy. They have cameras and they don't need mine. Okay? Because obviously all through these last transactions, somebody would have realized that it's not the camera, but we're going to use this anyways to see if it can give us some information. All right, so they call me back. I go up there. Yeah, was it yesterday? I think it was, yesterday. So I drive back all the way there. Now, this is already 70 miles to take it there and another 35 miles to go pick it up. So as I'm talking to them, and they were supposed to back up and restore my system, back up all my data, reinstall the freaking operating system, and then restore all my data. Boom, simple shit, right? So I says, so what did you find out with the camera? He said, we didn't test it with the camera. Everything seems to be working fine. I said, why didn't you test it with the camera? He said, we don't have a camera. I said, I brought you a camera and you said you didn't fucking need it, man. And he goes, yeah, but we don't have a camera. I says, there's cameras right there on that goddamn shelf right there. What in the hell is going on with you? He says, well, there's nowhere on here that it says with a camera. I said, can you read that and put together and formulate an idea on your own without somebody walking you through it? Can you do it? What part of when I am streaming on YouTube and other video platforms, wouldn't you be able to figure out that that means that there's a camera fucking involved here somewhere? Wouldn't you kind of get the idea that that means that there's a camera involved? I mean, just let's think for a second. So by this time, their manager came over or whatever. And I went through this whole thing with him and I had to walk him through. I diagnosed the goddamn problem and had to walk these people through every single step of the way. I said, can you understand that this is a problem that's happening only when I'm using the camera, even when I'm not even live online? So it's not an internet problem. So this can only mean if your diagnostics show nothing wrong with the video card, nothing wrong with any of the hardware, that means that there's something corrupt in the operating system. Because the odds of the same thing happening with two separate cameras, one brand new, one that I've had for a long time and have no problems with. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with people that they can't think at all? Okay, and then this brings me to the globetards that I have dealt with recently. And that includes in my comment section. All right, we're going to get to that here in just a minute because I want to cover some basics that for some reason people are really having a hard time with this idea of containment being performed by a container. Well, I had somebody in my comments said, a box will hold water, but it doesn't have a top. And I'm like, yeah, okay. But if I turn the box over, the water comes out. And I'm like, well, no shit, stupid. Because now you've poured it out of the container. You've given it a way out, right? Right? So let's just take a look and see who's all in the chat tonight. Yeah, but that whole Best Buy thing, I mean, I would expect at least a little bit of cognitive thinking abilities amongst people who deal with things like a computer and stuff like that, but there isn't. You have to lead them right through to the conclusion. They have using the scientific method of eliminating the impossibilities, exploring the possibilities, and testing out those possibilities to see which one of those things could be. So anyway, they ended up doing that. Anyway, I'm still fucked, kinda. They supposedly backed up all my shit, but they didn't restore all my shit. I'm missing a bunch of crap. So I don't know what in the world, man. We're done. We're done. Okay, we're done. As a society, we're done. I could not believe this little Humpty Dumpty ginger-headed fuck sitting behind the counter. There's nobody wrote anything about the camera. Whoa! Holy cow. So anyways, look here in the chat. I've got DJ Spin, Dreaming Lynn, Escape the Chains. How you doing tonight, darling? FE Nation, good to see you as well. Kevin Barber, good to see you. Martine's here, Martine M. Cax. Malcolm Sheen, Natasha Jones, been a little bit. Good to see you back. Tobin Schwing and Valley Parks, but I'm sure there's more going to join us as it shows that we have 28 in the viewership of this top-rated show. So, anyway, we had an interesting panel show the other night. And it involved the proving, supposedly, of a fluid pressure system. I'm going to broaden the terminology of this. Okay, I'm going to broaden the terminology of this because it is a fluid pressure system, and fluid of any kind cannot have pressure without containment. In fact, you can't even have a vacuum without containment. I've been thinking on this, and thanks to the pedantic little shits on Twitter and their stupid little nitpicky questions has broadened my scope on this, that I would dare to say that anything of matter cannot be created without pressure first. Liquid water requires pressure to be liquid. The air we breathe, okay? So in more explanation as to this gradient as we go up, I want you to think of yourself in our water example that we used with the bowl. Okay, I want you to think of yourself as one of those deep sea creatures. You know, the ones you've seen on National Geographic and shit that live way down where there's no light, right? And they got like little shit that hangs off of them and glows in the dark. And that's, you know, right? Okay, heavy duty pressure. This pressure would kill other fish, right? So imagine yourself, you're a creature from that depth. And as you ascend, these creatures, when they ascend, it'll kill them because the low pressure will kill them. even when still in the water. They must, because that's where they're designed to be, right? So if you imagine you yourself as one of these deep sea creatures at one of those depths, and you're going up, you're going to try to get out of your lake or out of your medium. You're going to leave. So they go up, they develop some kind of a thing. Now, as they go up in this, they're going to notice that there's going to be a gradient of less and less and less pressure as they get up. And without some kind of encapsulation, they're not going to be able to maintain the same pressure, but they're going to come up to a point where, as far as they're concerned, there is no pressure whatsoever, right? And this is before even breaking the surface. But you understand where I'm going with this. It's the same. Fluid. Your Atmos is a fluid, okay? It's a fluid. Water, liquid, is a fluid. These are two things that behave the same way. Okay, they behave the same way when exposed to high degrees of pressure, varying degrees of pressure. Okay, if you take oxygen and subject it to a high enough degree of pressure, it will become a liquid. Keep going with that and it'll become ice. It's very, very cold. But this is how this is done. This is why we have water. It only takes approximately around 14.7 psi to turn this gas of water into liquid water. You take some water up to 40,000 feet, say, and it's going to start like bubbling, and it's going to come out of the containment. It's going to want to expand. It's going to start equalizing and wanting to become a gas and become buoyant. This will happen with anything, including you. If you go up to a level high enough, you're just going to fucking blow up. That's all there is to it. Try and put your hand inside of a vacuum chamber and see what's going on there. And that's the thing. You need the pressure against you in order to maintain the physicality that you have. So that's where I go to the point where things of matter that are created have to have pressure in order to be created. This would negate the idea of having some kind of fucking planetary body collecting together and becoming something within a vacuous. Well, you couldn't even have a vacuum without containment. How in the fuck do you have that? If there's matter in it, it's going to disperse, man. Wow. I don't understand how people don't understand how they don't get that. But anyway, I've had a few more. Yes, a pane of glass it's a super cool fluid is what they call it. It's a super cool liquid. And it's kind of along the same ways as mercury is a metal, but in liquid form, because it has a very, very low melting point. So with glass as a solid, I'm sure many of you have maybe had to replace a pane of glass in an old house or an old window pane, or even just look through a very old one. You go to some of these places that are like around here, we've got places that are almost 200 years, 250 years old. And some of the original glass windows are still in them. And you can see it looks like you're looking through, it looks like the glass is wet. If you go to replace those panes of glass, they'll start to rattle, see? After a long time, they'll start to rattle with the wind. That's because they become narrower at the top. And then when you go to replace them, or if they get broke, taking that bottom part out is really a lot more difficult because it's wedged in there. It's filled in completely and pushed against that wood. So it's a good point, ZXL Master. Dreamy Lynn Escape the Chain says a lot of people do not have common sense. They live in La La Land. I agree. I mean, I can't believe it. These people want there to be able to away. It's so funny. It's like they're freaking out when you tell them that, dude, you're not getting out of this, right? You're not going to go up and fly around anywhere. It's just like that's never going to happen. There's no little balls of terra firma floating above you that you can go to. That's a ridiculous idea. It's stupid. What is the original word I saw? And I want to get with Melodome again on this point too, because he was looking that edge of the 1587 Urbani Monte Urbano map. Man, you look at the movements of these planitia, wandering stars over the flat Earth plane. When you look at them on that with an AE projection, and holy shit, it looks like somebody did it with like a spirograph. It's a beautiful pattern. And I think he was onto something with saying that, and it's called a planitia. What is it called? A planisphere, right? You would assume, see, this is what you got to be careful. Quit assuming shit, man. Okay, so planisphere, what does that mean? Does that mean that this object is a planet? No, I think that he was actually showing some of the movements of the planitia, which seems to be, I don't know. I think that we have to really be careful with wording. Like when people say, well, I have satellite TV. Don't assume that a satellite means a flying dumpster in space, okay? There's no magical flying dumpsters out going around a ball or anything. That's ridiculous and stupid, okay? A satellite, what is a satellite? Okay, it refers to a node of a central point. Now, some people are dumb enough to think that it would be more efficient somehow to throw a signal up to a magic dumpster flying around, somehow matching the Earth as it rotates, and then have it retransmit that signal, which is a long way. It's a long way, a lot longer than it would take to just daisy chain it off of fucking retrans satellite nodes that dot the landscape. So you mean to tell me you're just going to send it way up 300 miles, whatever the fuck, however far the magic flying dumpster is, and then have it retransmit it down to these nodes and then have it fed to you? Why not bypass the magic dumpster, man? That seems like an unneeded step to me. It just does. Does that not seem like a really unneeded step to you guys? I'm just asking for a friend, for real. So that's, you don't want to assume when they say satellite. I mean, hell, Walmart is headquartered in Arkansas, right? And it has satellite stores all around the United States. And it has satellite distribution centers all around the United States. Now, does that mean that these things are up in space? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But our tards will go, a satellite phone means they're talking to a satellite. Well, technically you are, but not some magic dumpster flying around in the cosmos. That's just retarded. Who even thinks that dumb shit? We are Illuminati confirmed, 33% or 33 viewers. I want to give a shout out to my agent out there tonight. How are you doing there, guys? Enjoying the content, I hope. So, I would like to show you that moment when a penguin destroys 400 years of indoctrination. Stop this. Let me start it over. Naughty Hippo is at the Adirondack Balloon Festival. And she sent me this video. And this is when a penguin just totally obliterates 400 years of brainwash. What is this witchcraft? Isn't it cool? The container, even though it has an open bottom, the container is a sufficient containment for the hot air, because the hot air goes away from the source of where the hot air is coming from, because it goes up. So it only needs to be enclosed on the sides and the top, kind of like the box that will hold the water. And you wondered why it would fall out when you tipped it over, and therefore it wasn't containment. Who said that dumb shit? Well, here's Star Wars. Because they'll probably, little blue-haired communists down in bullshit land there at Google will fuck our shit up. Look at that penguin flying. What is this witchcraft? What is this? Oh, the blasphemy. Heretics and blasphemers. Heretics. Anti-gravity penguin satellite in space. It is. They'll accuse that thing of being from China here. They'll fly. Biden's freaking out right now. These penguins are fucking attacking. I knew they would. Dumbass. I can't believe some of these people. I really can't. Anyway, she sent that. She also sent this one too. This is magnificent. This is beautiful. This is really nice. I'll need to see that. I'll look at her page here, and I think she's probably got more uploaded too. But that's, I mean, this
once again, welcome to the 50th anniversary of the Adirondack Father Festival. All across the field, balloons are still being inflated. Balloons are still
all manner of
and yet I hear no clapping and screaming. So let's try it again together. On the count of 3, all across the field, as loud and as long as you can, because it's the 50th birthday. On the count of 3, I would like to hear everybody scream happy birthday. 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday!
Come on, everybody. Here we go. That's why I like the morning. It's so pretty. Up to Neverland.
Come on, Jennifer, look at them all.
These are the wonderful songs. And a merry little boy. Think of Christmas, think of snow, think of sleigh bells. And once again, welcome to the 50th anniversary of the Adirondack Father Festival. All across.
So that's pretty cool. Yeah, they had a birthday cake there. It's 50th anniversary of this balloon festival that they hold in the Adirondacks. I went there with her, I think twice, and each time it was rained out. And so I've always referred to it as the alleged balloon festival. And my wife has fond memories of that because she and her family would always go attend this, and they're doing it again. She's with her sister, which brings me to another thing. Check, please, in the description of this tonight. My poor sister-in-law just had the worst bit of luck. She's about ready to move to New York State to be with family there. And she'd been making arrangements. She just got this car, a used car. It was running great, a great car. She loved it. She was coming down 81 yesterday, I-81. Or was it today? No, it was yesterday. And a truck in front of her threw up some kind of a steel rod or some shit. And it was in the road or something else. Anyway, it came up and went underneath of the car, hit the oil pan, and cracked the block. And it's going to cost like $3,500 to fix. Now, she does not have the means to do that. But I think that if a bunch of us can kind of pull together, I mean, if we could even just get 35 of us to do $10, hell, that's really going to make a big difference. So if you're able to, and I only mean if you're able to, I don't want, if you can't afford it, please do not do it. But if you can, down in the, boy, I'm blurring out really bad over here. It looks like it sucks. Might have to go back to the other camera. I don't know, or work on the settings to it or something. Maybe it's on me over here. Hold on. Let me see something. Yeah, it's supposed to be up there. I don't understand what's going on. Anyway, so it looks good here. I don't know why it's coming through that bad there. It says my internet connection's not stable or some shit. It's always saying that. That's my next fight is with Xfinity or whoever these assholes are that run my shit. Okay, so where was I at? Somebody help me. Oh, the fundraiser, right. So if you could find it in your heart, please go to, in the description of this video tonight, we have the GoFundMe link. I believe that the target for that is $3,500. We've made it up to 110 right now. Any bit helps. Whatever you can afford, if you can afford anything, please. And you know me, I'm not one that comes on here begging for money or anything else like that. But of all the people in the world for something like this to happen to, she deserves it, I would say, probably the least. And it's just, that's how it is. She ain't never harmed a fly in her life, you know, just really a sweet person. Means well and would give you the shirt off her back if she needed to. I mean, she helped anybody out. So anyway, go ahead and take a look at that and see what you think. Back onto my buoyancy and density aspect of things. Those balloons kind of reminded me of this. Y'all seen one of these before? You know what? This is really sucking. My quality of video is really sucking. I don't understand. But anyway, this is a Galileo thermometer. These are little baubles that have different volumes of material within them, and they react to temperature. And they have a little tag that hangs on them, and it tells you the temperature. Right now, it's about 72 degrees in my house. And what this, if you, I don't know, can you all see that okay? So I don't know, those balloons just kind of reminded me of this thing. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do real quick. Just hold tight. Okay, I'm going to leave the studio for one. Okay, am I back? Okay, is it better? Looks like it's better. A little bit. Okay, cool. So we might have to just go back to the other camera, I guess. I don't know. Let me see. Is there any kind of settings I can do with this thing? Let me see. Camera. See if I do that. Can it help anything? That ain't too bad. Yeah, it looks like it's doing better. Okay, good. I think it looks a little better. So, as I was saying, fluids require pressure or containment in order to have pressure. Now, as I was exploring this thing, I froze. Who froze? Touch one of the wires behind me. Let me see if I can touch one of the wires behind me. Let's see. I gotta go like this. Let's see. There we go. Hang on. Oh, there. Oh, we got Aaron. Let me turn these knobs over here too. Let me tune the radio. It's as good as NASA. Shit, think what I could do for what is it, $68 million a day or some other ungodly amount of shit. Holy cow. So yeah, we were discussing how you have to have containment for a fluid to have a pressure. So I was expanding upon this, and I was going, wait a second, you know what? For that matter, because there was, well, what about in a vacuum? And I'm like, hey, you know what? A vacuum can't exist without containment either. Think about it. Think about it. How could a vacuum exist without containment? That's just dumb. That's just dumb as hell. So yeah, I'm watching that wire. I caught my foot on the thing and pulled the life support out earlier. It was really fucked up. We were chasing each other around in a gorilla suit, and I fucking caught my foot on that shit. So anyway, as I was thinking about this whole thing, and these idiots, they go on and go, I said, well, what do you think is causing the pressure? Well, they're saying gravity, but all they ever do is they describe an effect of things dropping that are dense and things that are buoyant rising. So they just describe an effect and they call it gravity, but they don't really, what is gravity? And here's another thing they haven't considered either. Okay. If gravity is affecting gas like that, or vapor or fluids in that manner, what's holding it on the sides? You understand what's going on here? You got to think about this. Try to have a bucket with no sides, just a bottom. You can't have a one-sided container. It's not suitable for anything. It's not containment, okay? It's not containment. And there's no proof that this downward vector would in any way, shape, or form actually contain fluid without containment. I know. What about the lakes? What about the oceans? They're contained, man. Well, they don't have a top on them. They don't need a top. The air above them is denser. It pushes down. It's not hard to understand, man. Okay? It's buoyancy and density with an electrostatics that set the condition. That's all. That's it. Well, what is the downward acceleration? Well, it's because the inertia builds up and then there's air resistance. So like in a vacuum, it's going to stop and get to a certain velocity before, and it's not going to go any faster. Of course, you have to have containment for that vacuum, so it's kind of stupid to even go with that. But yeah, okay. So we'd have to see what is terminal velocity in a vacuum. Okay. Now, once you've taken out all of the possibilities of anything, any medium for it to have to interact with, you are stuck with the downward vector already set, already determined by the negative plate of the earth and the positivity above it. Okay. It's just simple. But once that condition is set, it's not the cause itself because the condition has been set. You understand? There's no way out of that. There's no way out of that. Okay, so you got to think about when something is falling. Okay, let's look at it in a thicker medium, a fluid. All right. So when something sinks in the water, at the place where it was once at, does it leave a hole? No, it doesn't leave a hole. to the hole that was where the object was at. It fills in rapidly. It's so rapidly you can't even detect it hardly. It fills in rapidly behind the object in the opposite direction of which it is going, and it gives it a push. Same thing going on when something is going up. What is replacing the hole where the you take an inner tube or take a balloon underwater? Okay, so what is replacing the hole where that balloon was at as it rises? The water that's around it. Okay, it's not going to fill in around the sides, just a slight bit, nothing. It's negligible, and it's not going to be filling in front of it in the direction of travel, is it? No. So you have all of this fluid filling in to replace the gap that was left by the object. What happens? Drafts behind a semi. You can use a fraction of the gas that you would normally use on a trip. It's highly dangerous, and I wouldn't suggest it. However, still got it, right? So let's see. What do we got going on here? We got Thrash List Smith is with us again tonight. You also can't have a glass of water in 0G with surface tension. There's no such thing as 0G. Okay, this is you're always subject to these principles. 0G, like on a 0G plane, is an optical illusion. There is no real 0G. You're just fooling yourself because you and everything that surrounds you and encloses you is in free fall. So you get the sensation that you're just floating, but you're not. You and the craft that you are in are subject right then to those principles of buoyancy and density. Okay, and that's just it. That's not simulating 0G. That's simulating shit in free fall. That's all that is. People need to get that name. There again, what's in a word? How do we get these words, right? Why do we have these words? 0G. It's not really that. You are in a state of equalization at that point. You are heading toward I don't know why people think that they're floating just because the objects around them are floating. When you skydive and you hold a flashlight out next to you and it just floats there next to you and shit, does that, you actually really think you're floating? No. So you're doing the same thing. You're just encapsulated in a thing that's doing the falling too. There's no such thing as this 0G. Okay. Just like there's no such thing as a true vacuum. Okay, and even if there is, it requires containment to have it. And I beg anybody to show me different. Poor Bubblegum Boy came on, and I'm sorry, man. It was like, look, right off the get-go, you're gonna show me an experiment, and what do I see initially in your setup? What do I initially see? Containers. Now, because you use the static tension or the surface tension of water through a screen, and the subsequent vacuum or the pressure wanting to pull up on the water in the container, the water still performed the act of a physical container, a physical barrier. Because air cannot pass through water. We know that. Not without force. And you had an opposite force going there, right? Kind of like when you stick your finger over a straw and pull the liquid up out of your glass and your dad yells at you and says, shut up and eat your fries, right? Remember that? So I'm sorry that I probably wouldn't have been so prickish about it. I'm sorry, but I probably wouldn't have been that way had he not been such a irritating little bastard about the fucking thing. He knows full well he was welcome to come up and share his fucking experiment all he wanted to. I personally, if I was him, I wouldn't want anybody to see that absolute dreadful failure of a fucking experiment. I mean, that was just pitiful. Holy sheep shit. So I got a few more people that had some of the crap from Bubblegum Boy. It's fun. Yeah, I have CXL. It was cracking me up. I hadn't looked at his page. Somebody pointed out some of the comments and shit he was making, and I was like, oh, I got to see this, you know, and I went over and looked, and I was like, yeah, you got to be kidding me, man. So it was an experiment, right? And experiments fail. This is the thing, too. If you're wrong, all it means is that you learned something. That's not a negative thing, man. That's a positive thing. Why do we? This is how they get people to fall into this brainwashing shit, by ridiculing people for being wrong. When in reality, that should be celebrated as, hey, that's a learning experience, man. Look at, now you know different. You just learned something. Bingo, 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 right? But no. And so I still hold to the idea, it's a natural law. They always hit you with these semantics. Can you name the law? Like, okay, Fred, what do you want to do? What the fuck are you talking about? It's natural law. You can't have fluid pressure without containment. A buddy of mine is a mechanic, Dylan, right? I asked him the other day, I says, you work with pressure systems and shit? And he says, oh yeah. I says, is it possible to have any kind of a fluid pressure without any containment? And he looked at me like I was retarded. And I said, yeah, that's what I thought, man. And he's like, no. And I was, yeah. So, you know, this is easily explainable. And they really try to flim-flam you into believing some bullshit that just is abjectly not true or possible. And they freak out. I had this guy asking me 100 times. He said, what's the buoyancy formula? So I showed him, and he says, well, what's that G for? I said, that G is for the effect of a downward vector within a medium. It means gravity. I said, I don't care what you call it. You can call it magic unicorn farts or anything else you want. It's a description of an effect. It doesn't illustrate a cause. Why do you keep using it? It doesn't illustrate a cause. And your whole thing of mass attracting mass is out the window. It's gone. It's stupid. Because we've gone through this with airships, man. You know, that we just saw, look, I mean, wow. People are just, I can't. So who we got else here? Thrash is with us tonight. VM Das, that sounds German. Valley Parks is with us here. Let's see who else we got in here. I gotta make sure I got this thing on all. Well, that was kind of weird. So let's you start doing it. There. Okay, yeah, now it shows me everything. Right. Dreamy Lynn says it's making a mistake. A mistake isn't a bad thing unless you don't learn from it. Then it's just willful ignorance. Now I was going to ask y'all, have you seen my video that I put out about what is a container and how it relates to containment? Because I think I should probably show that, because I think there's people that are really confused on this. Now, this is the one that had the comment. I'm going to show you this. I'll show you the comment afterwards. And this is really cool. I hope they're watching. I'm not sure who it was from, but I'm going to show it. Anyway, this was my video on the difference between a container and containment. In fact, I'm just going to put it up all by itself and let it go. It's only 4:20. Look at how long it is. I did not plan that out. I did not plan that out. That's funny as shit.
Hello, everybody. Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind here. Recently, it's come to my attention that there is a quite a bit of confusion over what is the meaning of the word containment. Containment is the act that is provided for by a container. Does a container have to be fully enclosed? No, not at all. We can contain oil drips with a pan, which is a type of containment. We can put eggs in a basket, which is a kind of containment. Is it sealed? No. Is something that is hermetically sealed, is that containment? Yes, that also is containment. A chain link fence is containment. Okay. In fact, I, sitting right here, am a series of containers within a container that is contained in our world. Containment is nothing more than the act of containing something. Now, does this mean all containment is suitable for the same applications? Absolutely not. So when I tell the Globetard that you cannot have a fluid pressure without containment, in fact, you can't have a vacuum without containment. Okay? What am I telling you? Okay, so I have some idiot tell me swing a bucket around. What does that do? Oh, well, the air pressure in the bottom of the bucket is now more than what it was. Yeah, it's in a container. It's a bucket. I had some fool show me a hot air balloon and says, look, that's open on the bottom. How's that containment? Holy Jesus Christ, man. Really? And then he asked me if I could put 30 pounds per square inch of air in a glass. And I'm like, that's not proper containment for the application prescribed. These are supposedly educated people, but they can't think. They have absolutely no way of thinking or extrapolating an idea in any way, shape, or form unless you actually lead them through the stretch. My next video is going to be exactly about that, relating to an experience that I had today. So just keep in mind, a container, whether it be a chain link fenced in yard or a hermetically sealed jar or a basket or anything like that, is a container. The act of containment is containing something within containment. I can't believe that here we are in the 21st century and I have to explain this shit to people. Okay. So M-Ball, please pay attention. Really, I urge you, please pay attention. I don't understand how your thought process operates, but you need help. Okay. So once again, containers contain things. Are all containers the same? No. Different containers for different applications of containment. So I hope that sets everything clear. I hope y'all get it. Most of you do, but some of you, go outside and wait for the short bus. That's all I can tell you. So, as we always like to say, Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor and fire his ass. He'll probably kill you. So, until next time.
So I'm going to bring that back up. Just a second. I might swap back to my other camera. I'm not sure I like this one. I'm really not. Anyway, I'm going to take this down. Let me just look and see what that looks like on here. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to try it with the other camera. I'm going to put up with the little spot. I might send this back unless I can figure out something about some settings in it. But anyway, I just got back and slapped all this stuff together, and I was sitting here fighting, trying to get all my Google shit back, and what a mess, what a mess, what a mess. So anyway, I wanted to show you some of these comments on this, which were quite funny. Let me see, where is it? There's a lot of good ones. I mean, I'm glad to see that a lot of you get it. A lot of you get it. There you go. Free Thinker Unchained says it depends on the type of matter you need to contain as to what type of containment system you use, right? Let me see if I can get that to blow up a little bit. You see that better, guys? Okay, cool. Oh, I can. Yeah, it looks a lot better, I think. Let me see what it looks like over here. Yeah, let me hit that live button. Let's take us up there. Okay, yeah, we're good. So let's see, that was Free Thinker Unchained. Swamp Boy says, crazy times. I really think this is the great deception. Logic should prevail. It's funny how scientism pushers require skeptics to be hyper specific when defining things while they reify concepts like space-time. I know what a crazy bunch of shit that space-time thing is, man. I can't even understand. I mean, I know what they're going for, but you ever saw that stupid thing they do that has like a little net with a ball setting in it, and that's supposed to, that is the dumbest ass shit thing I ever saw in my life. I was like, what are you doing? That makes no sense. It's just dumb. The whole concept of a vacuum or a void with shit flip, it's just dumb as hell. That's out of somebody's fairy tale mind right there. Furry Pilot says, how is it that flat earthers can make such broad statements about thermodynamics and yet can't not understand thermodynamics? Well, due to your double negative, we do understand it, bro. Thank you for that. Gas pressure is very specific system. Is it? That follows the ideal gas law and is an isolated system. Look at all this bullshit that he wrote. I'm like, if you want to go and read it, I'm not going to go through it all. But here's what I said. I said, all fluids require containment to achieve volume and therefore pressure. So you guys get it, right? That pressure that's like in the ocean is because of the volume of it and the fact that it's wanting to not be in a voluous state. Okay. And so it's heavy. I think it was either Thresh or Iron Horse. Somebody explained it really, really well. It was like, okay, take a stack of pallets, like shipping pallets. You got 14 of them stacked up on top of each other. Okay. And you weigh that one on the top, right? And it weighs a certain amount. So then you go down 5 pallets and then weigh that. Okay. That's how it keeps getting up, because it builds up as it goes down. All right. The same thing is happening with the fluid atmos that we exist in. It's the same thing as the ocean, only thinner. You have to think of it exactly the same. It's a fluid. So this guy is full of shit on that. Furry Pilots, even vacuum requires containment. He says, no, it doesn't. Vacuum is simply the absence of matter. How do you achieve the absence of matter without containing the absence of matter from matter? I mean, isn't your space full of fucking matter? That's impossible, bro. Okay. So all fluids require, and then he says all fluids require containment to achieve volume and therefore pressure. No, it doesn't. Pressure is simply force per unit area. Force against what, dipshit? The containment. God. Are you kidding me? Force per area. What is causing the force? What is doing the pressing? What is it pressing against? Why does they not understand this? It's so simple. I mean, you can visualize. Hopefully people can visualize this shit. Can you point out to an instance, he says to me, Can you point to an instance of a non-contained vacuum? Yeah, he says the space between molecules is non-contained vacuum. Oh, shut the fuck up. M-Ball, please let your next video contain a candle and a solo cup. This is right after this is on the video where I just described containment and the suitability of containment to the medium or the prescribed condition. Flew right over their head, right? I said, why would we need a container like a cup for? I already know what they're going to do. I already know what they're going to do. Okay. You put the cup over the match and the match goes, right? Match goes out. Take away the cup, stupid. He says, to demonstrate that you don't need a dome or any top on that container. Well, if you flip the cup upside down, yeah, bro. Sorry. So, I mean, this is just some of the stupid shit. Where's the guy that said that? I'm looking for that guy. Oh, here it is. Thomas Gill, 9656 said, a box can contain water without a lid. If you flip the box over without a lid, it is clearly not containment. No shit. But you know what? The box isn't empty. It's just full of air and not water now. Something is going to replace it. Same water, same container, not containment. I said, you literally just said it contains the water. Did I not just discuss suitability to the application? Then he came back. I mean, it's like, really? The substance, also known as water, is what we are applying for our application. No, the application is not the medium, stupid. The application is the containment. Wow. And these people say we don't, ooh, science. Educated people are dumb, man. Here's what educated means. I paid somebody to turn my brain into ramen noodles, and now I'm retarded. I just can't with these people. I'm so glad when I see somebody like ZXL Master, some of the rest of you in here, you make a comment and it's like, that's a cohesive point. And then this guy coming around and talking about dumping water out of a box and therefore the box isn't containment anymore. Fucking hey, man. Wow. Anyway, that was the demonstration on that. See, this is what I did on Earth. This is what I did on Earth while we were down with our system and waiting for a launch window and for the numbers to be nominal to come back up here. Oh my God. So I wanted to go over a couple other things, and we're going to go over and we're going to pick on our good friend Kenny Eating a Dick. Kenny Eating a Dick last night lost his fucking mind. Okay. He just started losing his mind. He couldn't handle it. I even wrote a little song for Kenny and sang it to him. And it was sweet. It was sweet. These assholes cannot handle getting the dose of trolling that they give everybody else. They can't do it. They crumble. It's so sad. It is so sad. And I find it quite amusing because I look at it like I'm exercising demons, man. I do. I look at it like I'm exercising demons. And like I said, this is an open panel, so anybody who wants to come up, we've got the link is up in the StreamYard. Kenny Eating a Dick, if you're watching, and I know you can't help it, you are, you're going to be, you probably might want to come up here, you know. So I just want to go over a couple other things too that maybe some of you have not seen. I'm going to play them again here because I think this is important information that you have regarding this as far as the discussion goes. And we can even expand on it some. So I'm going to put this one up. Okay. And go ahead and play it. This was an experiment, not an experiment, but a demonstration that makes it really easy for people to understand, I hope, of how the medium creates a gradient. This area above where we can breathe or whatnot, where it is not a vacuum, but it is a very, very, very low pressure, and why this would occur. Imagine if your car was jacked up off the ground and your tire was only half full, okay? Whereas the top of the thing, never mind, just watch the video. Eat popcorn.
Hello, everybody. Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind here. Just a little demonstration for everybody of what we believe is going on with the containment of Earth's atmos. Now, as we all know, the atmo, which means air or gas, is not in a sphere, but merely under containment. All gas pressure systems require containment. This is part of fluid dynamics, okay? Fluid dynamics. This incorporates liquids and gases, both. So what I have here is I have our firmament, our container, okay? And I have a lid. So what we're going to do, we know that we can put water in this container, can't we? Right? And why does the water stay in this bowl? Well, it's real simple. Because it is contained. But is the bowl full? Yes, the bowl is full. It's half full of water and half full of air. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to seal this. Okay. Gotta make sure it's sealed real good because we're going to flip it upside down and I'm going to explain something to you. Okay. All right. Now we're going to flip it over. Now, as you can see, in fact, let's put some more. Let's do a little bit more. Let's do more. Because come on, right? Let's just do a little bit more. We'll go about 3/4 of the volume of the bowl or so. That space taken up by water. Now, in this demonstration, because water and because liquid and gases behave in the same manner, we can use this for a demonstration here within our contained pressurized atmos. Okay, so what we're going to do is you notice that we flip it over. Okay, there it is, upside down. And we've got a volume of water in here, and we still have a volume of air. Where is the highest pressure? Where is going to be the highest pressure? The highest pressure is going to be beneath the surface of this water. Now, in this instance, we have to think of the water as a gas, and we think of the empty spot as a lack of the gas. So within the gases, we have pressure increasing as we go deeper, correct? And as we rise, it gets less, correct? Until, if this was nothing, this would appear as a near vacuum. However, the entire thing must be contained, or this gas will not remain at a pressure gradient. That's how our atmos works. So leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Expand on it. Let's discuss this. Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Lord loves the working man. Don't trust Whitey. See a doctor and fire his ass.
So I think that it was leaking, ZXL. It's not a very airtight one. I think it has 2 lids. One that's allowed to breathe, and I think there's a blue one that seals it. But that's I was going to point that out. If you notice, the pressure is great enough that it wants to start pushing out through the lid, through the crack in the lid in the container itself. It's going to seek any means at which it can equalize It doesn't like to be stacked up like that. The water doesn't like to be stacked up like that. So it pushes against its containment, right? This is the whole thing. It's the whole thing. It's like why when you go deeper and deeper and deeper into the ocean, there's a limit to how far you can go because the pressures are so great that it takes an extremely strong vessel. And then coming back is like arduous because you have to decompress. You've been down there breathing this compressed air. And as you rise back to the surface, the compressed air that you were breathing starts to expand in your blood. And you have to have time for that to cycle through your system before you can rise to the next, what they call atmosphere or pressure zone. Otherwise you just shoot up to the top and your brain's gonna fucking explode, man. That's all there is to it. You're gonna die. There's no way. Yeah, you have the same bowl. I think I got that at Walmart or Dollar Tree or some shit like that. It's handy for putting leftovers in for a little bit. So yeah, it's pretty handy. So I think that kind of ballers are squirming. That's what I found, man, is because I showed that. And if you look, most of the comments, of course, a lot of people really understood. Push buttons got it. Anson Howard. I hope he's watching. I hope he knows that we're back up in orbit again. Kevin Barber is good comments. Mellow Dome said it was a great explanation. Quick question, can you please explain the difference in temperature at high altitude versus at the land surface? And I said, yes. We'll cover that on another thing. We got to go through these. We have to go through all these things, right? And uncovering because let me tell you something, folks. I'm just going to tell you something. Without their magical gravity and without their infinite outer space, their whole fucking story goes right down the toilet. You don't even have to go any further than that. Just the idea that you took a curved sky and tried to transpose it onto the surface of the earth just to fit your atheistic, goddamn demonic view of the world is not proof. What I told McToon he said something about the stars and shit on Twitter. He said something about looking at the stars and that proves the condition of the Earth's surface. I said, I know. If I want to know the condition of my floor, I go next door and check my neighbor's mailbox. What's that got to do with anything? Exactly. What's that got to do with anything? What does shit in the sky got to do? You don't even know what the fuck you're looking at. You don't know what kind of a medium you're seeing them through, and you don't have any idea just stop. Everything about it is just off some predisposed cockamamie idea glorifying the sun worship cult, and that's all it is. Why do you think they name their shit Apollo? This is a sun worshiping cult. That's all the hell it is, man. So these people have to jump through hoops to believe their own nonsense when it's just a very, very simple yet complex system. Can we recreate it? Absolutely not. But we can study the mechanics once we get off this dumbass idea about shit orbiting the sun. Nothing orbits the sun. Nothing orbits the sun. That's dumb. Okay? That whole thing is dumb. And these people with their idea of 93 million miles and this guy wanted to jack off over math so bad on Facebook and on Twitter, and I knew it, so I wouldn't let him go there. I kept pinning him back to the question. He was saying, well, let's do the geometry. I said, fuck your geometry. Let's figure this out right here first. Oh, but the geometry. And I'm like, first off, you don't even know what you're measuring. Okay, you don't even know what you're measuring. You don't know where it is. You don't know anything else about it. You don't know what you're looking through, anything else. Before we get on this cockamamie thing, And once you agree that we have to have physical containment for there to be a fluid pressure, now you're going to have to explain to me how you got a physical goddamn transparent bubble that's around a goddamn globe floating in a vacuum that could not exist without containment itself. Okay? So your little unicorn fart dream up bullshit is out the window, baby. Tipping point flat earth 2024. And you heard it here. I made the prediction. It's going to fucking happen. Watch. No jacking off the math. Dude, these guys got algebra books with the pages stuck together. I'm not shitting you. I came back and these nerds were reminiscing over Texas Instrument calculators. I'm not kidding you, dude. I am not kidding you. I will totally show you. This is insane. These people, wow. I can't even with these people. Let me go to my thing. You got to see this because I had to put up a fucking nerd alert. Yeah, this is what I said to fucking McNerd on here. Let me put this. I gotta redo all my goddamn settings and everything. So let me stop this screen. I'm gonna present this screen right here. Bring this up. So he had a thing on here. Flat Earther Taboo Conspiracy says that looking at star positions can agree. He tried to analyze time lapse. I told him, I said, I often check the condition of a floor by looking at cars go by outside from my window. Very accurate and scientific, right? So I want to see if my floor is flat or not. So I'm going to watch an airplane go by. Oh, look at those things in the sky. They appear that they could be balls of terra firma. When you look up in the sky and see a bird, do you think you're a fucking bird too? Jesus Christ, man. The way these people think. But this was the one with the nerd alert right here. Look at this. This guy, John Michelson. Look at this. They're just going off. Puts a picture of it up even. This one right here just went in the spank bank of a bunch of globetard nerds. I guarantee you. They have a folder full of this shit and they're just sitting there. Oh, tangent! So, I mean, it's like, I had a TI-30 calculator in 1979. I thought I was so hip. Yeah, I bet you got all the chicks, bro. Jesus Christ. I just couldn't believe it, man. And they went on with a whole thread on that shit. Just insane. Insane people. Had Bill, if you guys haven't gone over, go to Bill and Ted. Go to Bill and Ted's podcast on YouTube. I have a post about it in my community page. These guys are freaking hilarious. Bill Esquire, he asked me today on the tweet. He said, "Yo, Dave, that podcast where you smoked reds was fire, right? Speaking of," and he's asking about, remember Conspiracy Smasher, right? He's like, where the fuck has that guy been? Where the hell is that guy been? Look here, and so this was a good one too. I said that moment when a penguin destroys 400 years of bullshit. Oh no. We were having fun with this shit, man, for real. For real. I couldn't not put all the penguin the balloons up because, you know, that's what we do here. We fucking hate the penguins. The penguins suck ass, right? Oh, this is a little song. You remember our friend Kenny Eating a Dick? So while he was spiraling last night, this is the song I wrote for him. You guys are gonna love it.
Dum 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 dum. Kenny is so dumb dum 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 dum. Retarded Kenny dum 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 dum. Fucking moron. Kenny is dumb.
Ooh, he hated it. He hated it. He don't like that shit. He was spiraling. He was losing his mind last night. So this dude, he says, we was talking about the satellites. And I said, yeah, they're all over the place. I see them all the time. And he goes, yeah, see, I told you. I said, but they're not up in the sky, man. And what are you talking about? I said, man, I said, you see them dotting the landscape everywhere, man. He's like, what are you talking about? So I brought these up. Oh, there's one. There's a satellite. It looks like a palm tree. Oh my God, there's a satellite. It looks like a pine tree. Oh my God, there's putting together one. It looks like a cactus. Oh, there's some more that look like cactus. I said, you lose. Pathetic losers. So I told him, I says, you've been defeated. Go sit down. So we was having fun. My son Ryan jumped in there and was fucking with some people pretty hard last night in it too. Been having a blast with that shit. So, wow. So we don't have any questions right now on the container containment issue. We're good. Everybody's got that. I think we can go with that. All right. And we understand that although things that contain things are containers, different containers are required for various applications, correct? Right? So thinking that, because a box is an open top, that because you can pour water out of it, that it's not contained. Well, even after as I discussed, even after you pour the water out of it, it's still contained, because what took the water's place? Well, that's right. The fluid air did. And you know why we have pressure air and liquid water? Because of pressure. And you know what? Pressure must be contained. Okay? There is no getting out of this in any case. Poor Bubblegum Boy came up and thought that he was going to make a point. I think he did. I just don't think he understood what I was talking about. I mean, that was a neat thing that he showed. It's a great demonstration of surface tension. Wonderful. But as we saw, it required containment, didn't it? And I think he's in the boat where he doesn't understand that, containment has different applications, right? Like we saw with the hot air balloon, there's no requirement for it to be closed at the bottom, right? Because that would be stupid anyways, because you would catch the fucking balloon on fire, trying to put the hot air in it. You see that flame thing that comes out the bottom and shit. So we can't use that as a reference. Because it doesn't have a bottom. I don't understand why this is a problem. No. The penguin dude is that's Conspiracy Smasher. Conspiracy Smasher, I think he's either muted me or hidden me or some shit like that, because I destroy every one of his arguments. Kenny has too. Poor Kenny had to just concede and give up. I mean, he couldn't handle it. I think he's might be taking a hiatus from the troll farm for a day or two. His boss might have told him, dude, you can't defeat this guy. Stop. And they're really worried. I mean, that little demonstration right there, as simple as it is, they hate it because it's so easy for people to understand. It really is. What is this? The tire pressure contains air or else it's flat. That's right. If you've got a hole in the containment, and as you saw around the lid of my bowl, that water was seeping up, pushing up, right? Why was it pushing up? What had given it the force to be able to push it up? Gravity, right? No, the fucking pressure of that water inside that container was enough to push it up. What's that telling you? That little bit of water defeats gravity? Are you kidding me? So don't let them confuse you by conflating the cause and the effect. That's just retarded. And always remember, you can't have a one-sided container. So there would have, even if gravity was the source of containment, which is a dumb. I mean, I can't even believe people could think this way. You've only got one side. You can't say no. Gas is easily disturbed away from gravity at any given time with such fluctuations as mere temperature, as we saw in the demonstration of the hot air balloon floating away seamlessly into the sky with merely the application of heat to the contents inside the container. Oh, Saab needs a bowl. That's what's going on. That's what's going on here. So let me just kind of go through here and see if we got some cool stuff here. If you guys don't follow Bill and Ted on Twitter, you're missing out. They always putting up some good shit on here. I'll give you a good example here real quick. So this is his feed here. He goes at Ted Logan 1010. There, I can see it better over on this screen. On Twitter. And of course, Bill is there, and Rufus and Death, and there's some good shit on here. But just a good, I'm telling you what, some people have gotten on to from here over to their podcast, and ask anybody in here that's seen it, dude, they'll tell you those guys are funny as hell. They are funny as hell. So he says, I can't believe this even needs to be said, but never eat a 1 cent cheeseburger. Yeah, I'm kind of suspicious about the 1 cent cheeseburger. Kind of like the kid that wants to just, be kind and give you a piece of gum, and that piece of gum snaps your finger when you pull on it and shit. See, there's always a trick. Everyone's going to pretend like they don't, but someone is buying them. Let's see what this guy has to say about it.
So Wendy's is selling burgers for 1 cent. That means you can get 100 burgers for $1. Right off the bat, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all this is for testing purposes only. Experimentation purposes only. Yes, they're experimenting on people like they've been doing for years. And it's common sense to know that it's something in these burgers. And they're distributing these burgers to see how people are going to react to them, or seeing how their experiments are going to turn out. So if you buy these burgers, just know that you were part of an experiment. And I'm going to be real. If you buy these burgers, you're probably going to be one of the first to die when shit hits the fan. Because you already fell for some dumb shit before, so you're going to fall for some dumb shit again. It's honestly wild to me that I know people are going to buy these burgers. I'm going to say it again. The people that buy these burgers are the people that's going to be the first to die when shit hit the fan. This is an experiment, and they're going to keep on experimenting on people.
What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? I'm on that too. I'm like, wait a second, because I started thinking about that too. You mean to tell me I can go down there and buy a whole 100 fucking hamburgers for $1? Man, why you want me to have that shit so bad? What's up? What's up with that shit that you want me to have it so bad? I don't get it. That's very sus. That is very sus. I am getting a thing up here that says my connection is unstable. So if I get a little jerky and everything, I know the system is good. So tomorrow, the next step is to ream the ass of the cable company or the internet provider, whoever that is. I'd prefer to wait until Naughty Hippo gets back and have her deal with it, because although I kept my shit together pretty well with the fucking Geek Squad, man, I really did. I'm surprised. I'm proud of myself, because 20 years ago, I would have just fucking beat somebody's ass. I mean, that little fucking Humpty Dumpty ginger-haired motherfucker behind the counter, that first one, he said, well, nobody wrote dog. I was like, are you goddamn shitting me? What part of in there streaming on YouTube did you not figure required using a goddamn camera? What is wrong with you, man? Especially, and that was the thing too. I said, the lady on the phone told me, take in your computer, take in your cord, take in your fucking cameras. Because I had 2. Take him in. Okay. So I take him in. They take the computer. I tell them the entire problem and everything, right? Exactly. I said, and here's the cameras and the cord. Oh, we don't need that. Oh, okay. So dipshit here thinks, oh, they must be in that they're tech people. They probably have their own cameras back there. Okay. We've already determined that it's not really the camera because I'm using 2 different cameras. One's brand new. The other one's, you know, the older one. And so we're good to go, right? Okay. And he says, oh, we don't have a fucking camera. When I went back, I said, why didn't you test it with a camera? He says, we don't have a camera. I looked over and I said, there's a goddamn whole shelf full of cameras right there. Oh, yeah, but those are for sale. I said, then fucking buy one and test it out. I ain't driving all the way back to goddamn where I live, 35 more miles, to bring you back a camera that you said you didn't need in the first goddamn place. So it ended up I had to buy a fucking camera, and then I returned it today when I went and picked up my camera. They called me up and they said exactly what I told them to do, man. I says, try it with the camera, it'll reboot. He says, oh, we turned it on, had it with the camera, and it rebooted. So we went ahead and backed up the system. Yeah, well, you didn't restore it all, dumbasses, so I'm going to have to call them too. Wow. But anyway, I had my system back, and I can always, if you know, whatever, we're just going to, it's best to not think on it anymore because I'm starting to get irritated again. I mean, between that and reading some of the dumbass comments and some of these ballers, I can't even, man. Well, if you tore the water out of the box, it's not contained anymore. No shit, Sherlock. Wow. You're pretty smart. How you doing tonight, Moon Bouncing?
I'm all right, man. Where do I get these darling burgers?
Oh, you don't want that shit. I think it's Wendy's. Let me double look back here. Yeah,
100 burgers for $1.
yeah, no, I'm not into that. Look at it. There's another little redhead. Who's like the Nephilim? Wendy's
Yeah, but you seen the size of White Castles, right? Maybe they're like White Castles. You have to get a White Castle for $1 now, when they used to be like 25 cents.
Yeah, but it's still, even imagine 100 White Castles. That's a lot of. They're not making a profit on this. Okay, even in volume, they're not making a profit on this. So what's the real deal that they're doing? And I'm like, with this guy, that was the first thing I was thinking. I was like, what in the fuck are they wanting me to have in me? What are they trying to do? You know, it's like, it was almost like, remember back during the thing, right? There was who was that? The governor of New York? Or was it the mayor of New York City? Which one was it? Not Cuomo. The other guy. Anyway, he was talking.
Big dude, donut guy, Chris Crispy,
No, New York State.
Giuliani.
No, he's another guy. He was in there. He was talking about, oh yeah. He says, look, if you go and get your, you can get this juicy burger and some fries. And I was like, whoa, that's a good trade, boy. I'll tell you what. There was brothels out in Nevada was giving BJ's, you know, to get the, and I'm like, dude, you want me to have that too fucking bad. Now I know after my 58 years on this world that the last thing that you do is give a shit about me. Okay? I know that. You've been trying to kill me my whole damn life. And I'm supposed to expect that you really care about me so much that you're willing to just, you know, lay down the red carpet if I'll just submit to your bullshit. Get out of here, man. I'm always suspect of some shit like that, bro.
Is that why you're always saying go to your doctor and fire him?
Well, man, I'll tell you, it's like they killed my dad. I'm going to say that right up. And he was not in as bad a shape until after they got a hold of him. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
it wasn't due to anything physical, but absolutely, I believe, due to the various chemicals that he was exposed to while he was in their care. I really was not happy with it. It's like it's like Walmart for sick people to me. You know, I mean, it's sort of like, I don't know. I sit back and I don't see healthy people coming out of the fucking hospital. That's just my opinion, you know? And then I
Right.
go inside and very few of the workers in there look healthy, which
Right.
begs,
And when it's your family, like your dad, it's almost like, now I'm not advocating the geek squad or anything, but it's almost like you're going to walk into that hospital and you're almost, I'm not going to say naturally, but it's almost like your awareness is heightened. So you're going to see a lot of things that you may not have seen otherwise, or, you know, it's like you want to be telling them, like you have to walk them through it, and you think, man, I shouldn't have to walk this medical professional through each step of why I think what they're doing is jacked up. You know what I mean? But it's the same kind of principle. It's like, where do you draw that fine line of going, hey, you know, what you do know is wrong to what you think could be done better, or that they're really messing up in the first place? Does that make sense, or did we freeze? Yo, yo. Earth to Space Station 1. Earth to Space Station 1, over. Space Station 1, can you read me? You're on the show. Hey, welcome back. Can you hear me now?
wow.
Man, it was doing good too, till someone else got up here. Shh.
All right. We back?
Yeah, I
Okay.
can hear you.
Okay, cool. Wow. So it looks like my problem is not fixed.
Well, I guess like it was going good until you actually, like, I came up, right?
Yeah, but see, it's not that. It's I don't know. There's something else happening here. There's something else happening here. This is not cool at all. So I'm gonna have to get a hold of these fucking people again, and I have to anyways because they fucked up some other shit. You know, with not. Listen, I don't think there's anybody that can do their goddamn job properly anywhere. I really don't. I don't think there's anybody that can do their goddamn job properly in any way, shape, or form.
You know, it's kind of like weird because I was thinking about that same thing, like in last job that I had was like, you know, you used to be able to like read the handbook, right? And it'd be like, here's your job duties. And then, you know, it just kept getting more and more of anything that you're told, it becomes your job duty. Or if you see something that needs to be done or something like that, that's your job duty. And it's just like, you know, just so much getting put on people to a certain extent of when they just, you know, it's like, that ain't my job. And then it ends up being their job, but they've already got that mindset of, you know.
Right, right. If I blast off into hyperspace again, people, hang tight. I'll be right back. But see, that's just it. The benchmark thing, they didn't fucking test it after they did all the work to it. See, these people do everything fucking half-assed. They do everything half-assed. You know,
Well, they
and
did
it's
something because your camera's been working this whole time.
yeah, everything seems to be working, and then that was inexplicable. There's no reason for that whatsoever. I just don't understand it. I'm gonna just take a load off of everything. by having this without the background. We'll see how we do with that. Maybe that's just doing too much or something. I don't know. But it shouldn't be. It never did this shit before. So what the hell, right?
Mhm.
Oh, you see my little beautiful Brandy in the background. You see her? That's my best buddy right there. Little Brandy. She's a good little dog. She's been around.
Oh, right there to your left or your right
Yeah,
or
yeah.
your left.
She's actually over here. Right here.
Yeah, that's your left.
Yeah. Where ain't that right, Brandy? Brandy girl. She's probably nodding off. She's 8. She's 8 years old. Me and her
Man,
met-
it's kind of good to see that you came back down to earth there in a way.
Yeah. So it's, there again, exposing dumb and possession of stupid. That's the entire description of ZX channel. What? Exposing dumb and possession of stupid. Wow. That yeah, no doubt, right? Okay, so yeah, it's when Saddlebum said that was Bill de Blasio that I was thinking of with the delicious, and it showed him he was eating it on camera and showing how delicious it was and everything else. And what the hell? Yeah. Oh my God. So I was looking, God damn it, right before it rebooted, I was going to show you this thing. It's like it's showing you right to your face how they fake this. So a guy says, what is this now? Oh no. It's somebody, oh my God, this must be something about, all right, so our friend Liquor Store Santa, the pigeon pecker guy, right? So here's a tweet by Bill Esquire, Bill S. Esquire. Check this out. And he's on here, 3 days left. Is it a gift or was it a grift? We shall see. It's September 22nd, 23. When is Elvis, going to get that head wound? Okay. And so this guy's got a thing up here. It says 31 days from 8/25 remain in this movie until God shows up. On 9/25/2023. That's what? What do we got? 3 days from now? What is that? Monday? That's Monday, right? Yeah. So I guess God's supposed to show up, everybody. You better get prayed up. I'm telling you.
Get back on your prayers.
You better get on it. You got a lot of catching up. You got 3 days. 3 days. And it's not given a time. You're just going to show up unexpected, like it says in the Bible. And then you're going to be sorry. You will repent. I was actually looking through this thing. Let me see if there's something in the comments about that. For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets. Yeah, that's what I believe. People, of course, I don't think Trump has he really called himself this Messiah or anything like that? Or is he, that's just, I think, something that people have put on him, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people have put that on him. Let's see, I'm looking for, there was a thing I wanted to show you. It was so cool. And then the goddamn thing rebooted on me and I can't find it. Let me see. Damn it. It was showing how they make it so it looks like they're flying over the moon. And it's just this big like trough with a moonscape that they made in it, and they just run this camera over a track over top of it. I mean, it's like, yeah, they're showing it to you. So
Like how they flew over the Death Star?
What's that?
Like they flew over the Death Star?
Right,
like
right.
that?
Exactly like how Spielberg did it, man. Exactly. What in the world is this? Oh my God! Check this out, dudes. This is fucking fantastic. So you've heard me talk about the airships, right? And how cool we need to bring these back. check this out, man. I just found this.
Rethink the unreachable. Take off and land anywhere with no need for ports, roads, or runways. Rethink persistence. 5 days airborne, 3-ton mission payload, 1 powerful aircraft. Rethink sustainability. Low emissions today, working towards zero carbon flight tomorrow. Rethink capability. The low vibration platform for multi-mission systems. Rethink the journey. A new way to explore the world.
This amazing green, clean, quiet mode of travel was obviously not profitable to the oil barons and needed to go. How would you eliminate your biggest competitors that can fly without the use of petroleum-based fuel? By scaring the shit out of everyone to ever set foot on one of these airships again.
Passengers crowded the windows to watch. A roar and a burst of flames near the big tail fins turned the ship into a flaming inferno. Passengers and crew, the fortunate among them, fell or jumped and were dragged to safety before the fiery furnace took their lives,
while others, beyond help, perish in the flame.
There was no hope. It's the greatest of miracles that anyone came out of the disaster alive.
An inferno which became a flaming tomb, a twisted mass of girders, the seared and scorched skeleton of what was once a mighty airship. Her tragedy will not halt the march of progress. From her ashes will arise the knowledge, from her fate the lesson that will lead to a greater and a better means of mastering the air. Her dead will not have died in vain.
Experts believe the exact cause of the greatest of air disasters will never be known. Over the Hindenburg will loom a question mark that can never be forgotten.
There is a very curious anomaly when we watch the alleged footage of the Wright brothers' first flight in 1903. The spectators seem to be equally disinterested and unenamored. What if the skies were full of airships? All of the photographs from the 1800s seem to have the sky purposely doctored to blur it out. Notice how you can never see any clouds, distant hills, or land on the horizon. The sun even. And on some of them, you can even see the sloppy, pixelated cuts around the buildings.
Rethink the unreachable. Take off and land anywhere with no need for ports, roads, or runways. Rethink persistence. 5 days airborne, 3-ton mission payload, 1 powerful aircraft. Rethink sustainability. Low emissions today, working towards zero carbon flight tomorrow. Rethink capability. The low vibration platform for multi-mission systems. Rethink the journey. A new way to explore the world.
Most of our train stations seem to have pointless high hangar-shaped roofs and open halls, unless in fact that's exactly what they were. Airship hangars and airports with connecting hubs to trains.
Rethink the skies. Rethink the skies. Airlander.
Rethink the skies.
And not everybody can be a robot polisher.
So what do y'all think about that, man?
Rethink the unreachable.
Huh? I mean, that's some, I've been saying that for years, man. It was like, and the whole thing about the Hindenburg, the only reason that the Hindenburg had hydrogen instead of using helium is because the United States had embargoed Germany and wouldn't sell them helium reserves, and the United States owns like 98% of all the helium reserves in the world. So to keep their burgeoning airship business in business, they had to revert to using hydrogen. And of course, they took a buttload of precautions. The explosion of that was next to near impossible for what they say happened. I believe, as do many others, that it was a result of sabotage. It really was, because this really did threaten the oil. Who's going to go pay for fucking airplanes when you can ride in one of these? A lot more people, a lot more efficiently, more luxurious. I mean, you saw some of the rooms and shit that are inside this thing. I mean, good God, that's beautiful. You know, I would love to go on something like that. I think it's fantastic. The little dog's over here getting something to drink. Oh, that's Brandy. And Peanut has taken her spot. Have you noticed that? Peanut zoomed right in there and took her bed. That's my little pit bull dog. Something else. Let's see, what is this? This is they're gonna put robot cops in New York. Have you heard about this? Moonbox? Hello?
What, those dogs?
No, no, this is some other kind, like like R2D2 or some shit. Check this out, man. This is crazy.
Which never sleeps. It turns out neither do these new police robots you see when they're on your screen. It's called K5. It's soon going to start patrolling the city's busiest subway stations overnight to try and keep New Yorkers safe. Mayor Eric Adams insists it is cost effective. Listen.
We're not buying, we're leasing. $9 an hour. $9 an hour. This is below minimum wage. You know, no bathroom breaks, no meal breaks. This is a good investment.
No bathroom breaks. That's something. Let's hope they work better than the food delivery robots.
So let's see. We got artificial intelligence, RoboCop. How far could we be from Terminator?
Not terribly far.
6 months.
I hope we're far. Hey, thanks for.
Which never sleeps.
About 6 months. That's how far we are from. We're already there. You got to be shitting me.
What is that going to do? Roll around and just go, I'm eyeballing you.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Does it have a weapons deployment platform to it, or does it just record? It's Chili DeCastro's idea, I bet you.
It's a drone. Yeah, but no, it's just like he says, we're leasing it, man. We're not buying this stuff. We're leasing it. $9 an hour.
Well, what kind of arrest powers does this thing have? How does it grab a suspect? How does it? You have.
Yeah, what safety is it bringing? What is it going to do? Like stop? What is it going to stop? Like you're saying. Freeze! Don't move.
Roll that fucker through the right neighborhood, it's liable to be stripped before it gets through. You know what I'm saying? They'll have that shit down at the chop shop. You'll see all kinds of whoopties going all kinds of hoopties going through the hood, man, with parts from that thing hooked up on it. Oh, somebody pointed something very interesting to me out, and I watched about it. Okay, so they had these, was it the SpaceX guys? That their capsule, whose capsule just recently splashed down into the ocean? Was that the SpaceX thing that we watched? I think it was. Okay, so here's an interesting thing that we noticed with these splashdowns. This capsule has just come through, supposedly, going the speed of a bullet, right? And it comes through into the atmosphere, and it's going so fast that the friction of it causes the hull that's facing, that friction grabbing hull, glows cherry red, right? It's hot. Hotter than a fajita pan. Sucker's going. And then it comes down. It's on this parachute. And then goes into the water, and you don't see any goddamn steam. You don't see any water bubbling around it. Nothing. Why?
Because it cooled down by the time it got to the water.
Nah, I'll show you why. You watched a show, because this is exactly how it's done right here.
Yeah, right out of the back of that. No way. They can drop a tank out of that plane if they wanted.
Yeah. I'm hoping one will land in my backyard. So they're just dropping this thing from a high altitude and deploying a chute. It's not coming through anything and getting all hot. And one of the telltale things about that is, is when it goes into the water, right? What happens when hot metal, and it's not going to cool down that fast. It'd be like thinking you could cool off a horseshoe by blowing on it, right? It's not cooling down like that. It can't. And so this thing gets in the water. It just came from being extremely hot. So they had to put special shielding so that the people inside didn't burn up. That's how hot this thing gets, or so we're told, right? But no indication of any thermal reaction when this hot thing lands finally into the cold ocean. And I find that highly suspect. I don't think many people thought of it. I never did. But now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, shit. It could happen like that.
So, I mean, I'm just wondering is there like a trap door or something? Because you have to have the speed. You have to be up to speed to get into outer space to keep the momentum of not crashing back down so that you can stay in orbit. So you got to be going like thousands of miles an hour.
Yeah.
But you have to get up to that speed before you get out into space so that you can keep that momentum. How come you don't burn up going out, but you can burn up coming back in because it gets so hot on you when you're coming back in?
Excellent.
But it doesn't.
Well,
doesn't
here's
do
what I
anything.
want to know. And this is what I always ask them. I say, well, how do you know what's out there, what space is made of? And they say, because we sent people up there. I said, really? So how did they not die when the craft they were in, traveling the speed of a bullet, smacked into containment, man? You know? You ever see a car hit those water barrel things on a freeway?
Yeah.
You gotta fuck that car up hard, man. Right? So what is it that's keeping these things from smashing on impact when they hit the containment? Well, of course, the next question is, what containment? And I'm like, the one that's required for any fluids to have a pressure, man. What are you talking about? You know, when you have these conversations, just speak as they are. You know, you're naming your facts. Okay, forget their fucking globe bullshit. I ain't got to disprove your fucking globe. You have to prove that dumb shit. I'm telling you facts and fundamentals of the laws of nature that must be proven that you can break in order to even start to comprehend the dumbass shit you're saying. You see? And that's where I hold them at. And you have to.
Right, because, you know, in all the angles, it's like, you know, the tilt at 23 something something and blah. It's like to figure out, okay, we're going to take these people up there to the moon. And how did they know what slope or what angle, what percentage had to be to not bounce off of the atmosphere and just shoot back out into the darkness of space, of to come in where, at what angle do you keep that heat shield at so that you don't burn up, and how, you know, it just gets glowing hot. And it's like,
it's freaking ridiculous, bro. The whole story, when you look at the entire story as a whole, it is just preposterous. The whole idea of it, right? That these guys are going to go up in a little can made out of air, right? And they're going to maintain a pressure inside this little can made out of air. And it's so goddamn thin and flimsy that you could actually poke your finger through it. I mean, get out of here with this stupid shit. You know, Guy said he was worried about if he even dropped a wrench, it would go through the hull. You know, that's how, just because of the weight, like you were saying, it takes all this energy to get away for escape velocity. It's like, no, there's just no aerodynamics above the thicker atmos. That's what you're running into, bro. I don't think these people actually understand how it goes. They've been stuck with their faces in a goddamn math book for so long they can't figure out what's going on.
Yeah. So what would be the it's almost like what would be the calculation if that was like a vacuum, or there was, like you just said, escape velocity. So yeah, you're cruising and then it'd be like a rubber band. Then you'd hit that barrier and then you'd be like, how do you not overshoot the moon then?
Well, what do
Because
they say? The SR-71 goes up, what? It's got a ceiling of 70,000 feet, I think. Isn't that correct? Something like that.
I don't know. It goes up there like twice as high or a little over twice as high as an airliner.
Right. I think it's about 70,000 feet. And it has to be really carrying the mail just to have any aerodynamic properties involved with it at that altitude, because the medium is so spread out thin as we like toward the surface of the water, right? So this thing really has to be carrying the mail. These rockets, they have to penetrate through that, even where there's just like nothing, you know, a very, very, very low pressure. But there again, still, what is the containment that they have to go through to get into this supposed space? And you find out that none of it is possible. Now I'm kind of I'm curious as to what is this containment made of. Okay, I've established that there's a containment. There's no way that anybody's going to tell me any different. So I have to wonder, what is it made from? And somebody brought up Flatzoid showed one of my demonstration videos on his channel, and somebody on his panel brought up something interesting, that perhaps it's just this making a bubble, you know, and I expanded on that thought. And keep in mind, this is just, you know, spitballing, but we watch the behavior of these craft as they hit this containment, what appears to be containment or firmament, and it is very reminiscent of how water acts, right? So I think back down to, oh my God, remember that guy in the little sub that found that lake in the Gulf of Mexico of that really, really super dense water that he couldn't even penetrate into? What me? I don't know. Until I can go up there and check for myself, I don't fucking know. I won't, you know, I just know that we're nobody getting out of here. There must be containment in order to have any kind of fluid pressure. And Bubblegum Boy, I don't mean, you know, ill will or anything. I want you to know that. I don't wish you any ill will. But you did deserve a little bit of a smacking on the ass, because you came in like a pompous know-it-all son of a bitch with your goading and your calling people, you're a coward, you're afraid of my experiment. Dude, that is not a way to get at me at all. In fact, that's the best way to get me to ignore your dumb ass. It really is. And hey, you gave it a good shot. I don't think you understood what I was saying when I said that you can't have a fluid pressure without containment. And in this instance, gas, I don't care, water. In fact, the very reason you have water is because of pressure. Okay. And how do we have pressure? Well, something has to be pressing, and that would be the gas against the containment because it's in a volume. And it doesn't want to be in a volume. It wants to spread out. It wants to go to its lowest point of relative density. And it can't do that. So it fights and constrains against its containment, causing pressure.
I know it gets people, I think, into that aspect. It's like everybody wants somebody to answer a question first. It's like, you know, him coming on and then just going, hey, answer all these pretextual questions, right, so that, you know, then I'll show you the, and it's like, no, you just got to do it. It's kind of like that thing where people go, hey, which one do you think is which one? And hey, just pick one, guess one. No, how about I don't guess and you just get on with what you're talking about? It's like they try to, it's almost like setting a trap, or somehow they're trying to trick you into saying something so they can go, yeah, see, well, you said this and you said that, where he misunderstands. You say gas pressure system without containment. And then it's like, oh, well, look, but no, once he put the jar and the bowl on the table, it was almost like a lost cause right there.
Yep, that's
Let
exactly.
alone the tricky questions.
It's like M-Ball in her thing. Next time, get a candle or a match or whatever in a Solo cup. And I'm like, why would we need a container like a cup? Are we going to drink things? What are we doing? Come on. I don't understand what they're not understanding, but I guess there's people that think that because something doesn't have a lid, they don't realize that a swimming pool is a container because it doesn't have a top. They don't understand that the basin of the ocean is a container because they don't see a top on it. And it's like, it doesn't need a top. Why would it need a top? It has a top. The air is the top. Shut up.
Right, and there goes, and ergo the semantics or whatever about containment.
Yes.
You know? Because then it's like, yeah, but see, it's not containment, or it is containment, or this is containment, but that's not a container. And it's like, yeah, that's a container. That's containment. If you turn it upside down, it's like,
right.
Yeah.
I don't need a hermetically sealed vault to keep sand in, right? It's not going anywhere. I can keep it in a fucking pot, right? No problem, no lid. But I can't pressurize a gas in there, okay, and expect it to stay pressurized at all. Nobody, I mean, that's just dumb. Why would anybody even suggest such a thing? Now,
right, and do people?
Go ahead.
Why would anybody then claim that, let's say, a vacuum is pressurized? Because a vacuum isn't pressurized, is it? Or a vacuum is the lack of pressure, so it's not pressurized.
Right. Well, that's there again. A vacuum. Even to have a vacuum requires containment. You see, this idea of an infinite void that's a vacuum, that's retarded. It really is, and it's just hype. It's somebody's fried egg thought that they passing off as fact. And this is the thing. You said it perfectly. They try to back you into a claim. So M-Ball says, why would you need a dome on the Earth? Well, I am assuming that shape, merely because it would be the strongest structure available. It incorporates no corners or anything else like that. So I'm not absolutely sure of the shape. We just know that, well, then why? How do we have air, M-Ball? Huh? Sand falls down with no dome. That's right. My God, you must have watched Sesame Street today. Air also falls down with no dome. No, yeah, but it's not going to fill into a volume without any containment, M-Ball. How do you obtain a volume of gas or a volume of fluid without containment? If you can answer that, then you have a Nobel Prize waiting for you, dear. You have a Nobel Prize waiting for you. I mean, there's no getting out of it. There's no getting out of it. And what does this mean? The implications are really quite catastrophic for you, M-Ball. The implications of such a fundamental law of nature are catastrophic to the globe. Your gravity is a dumbass theory that's disproven with buoyancy and density. It's real simple, man. There is a set condition through electrostatics, and everything runs through buoyancy and density. There you go. You're not going to space. Nobody's going to the moon. Nobody's going to the moon. The moon isn't a place. The sun isn't a place. These planitia that you see in the sky are not terra firma. And to look at those and assume, oh, look at those things in the sky, I must be on one of those. Why would you ever even think such a stupid ass thing? You look up in the air and see birds and think that you're a bird now? What the hell's wrong with your minds, man? All this shit, worried about what's up in the sky and not paying any goddamn attention to what's happening around you on the ground. It depends, M-Dome, M-Ball. What are we keeping in the container? As we discussed, and seems to have gone over your fucking head about 20 times now, is that various containers provide containment for different applications. So if my cup is holding a dense liquid, okay, liquid still needs to be contained, doesn't it? Doesn't need to be fully contained. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Does a gas pressure need to be fully contained? Absolutely. Absolutely. Any fluid pressure has to be completely contained. Okay? Unless you're going to just show me your bucket thing, well, there it's completely contained because you're throwing it in one direction. You cannot ever get around this because even if you want to have an open container, like a cup, you still have to have sides on it in order to achieve a volume of the fluid. There's no getting away from this, M-Ball. A bird is a real thing. The moon is a real thing. That's right. That's right, M-Ball. Look at that. Educated. Educated. Took him a little bit of math, a couple hours of research, but he did indeed determine that a bird is a real thing and the moon is a real thing. That's right. It's a thing that we see in the sky. And a bird is a thing that we see flying around and landing in our yards and shitting on our cars. And, all right, cool. So what? Wow. What the fuck is with people? I mean, for real. I mean, I almost feel bad for that person. I really do. These people actually think that they're fucking smart because they think that they live on a ball. That is one of the sole reasons some of these people think that they're smart, because they memorized a bunch of dumb shit that people told them in the order of the planets, and somebody patted them on the fucking head and said, now you're smart, Billy. Oh, thank you, Mommy. You gotta be shitting me, man. Get out of here with that crazy nonsense. What the fuck? Oh, that's a Helgamite. Oh, I should tell him. Yeah, it's a Helgamite. These things are great for fishing. Have you ever seen one, Moonbounce? You ever see that creepy ass looking thing?
No.
It's a Helgamite, man. Those things are great for fishing. They start out as a larva. They live in the water. And then when they hatch, they come out like that. And, man, you can get some heavy duty bites with that shit. I'm not kidding you, man. Those things are great fishing bait. So I'm going to look here. I see that I have freak out status going on over here. And in the troll world of my notifications. Kenny and Grizz. I think Kenny and Grizz are going to get married. I really do. I actually suspect that they're in the same room holding each other and they're not wearing pants while they're on Twitter. I really do. I'm going to look through here and see what we got from anybody. No, we measure that does not drop. Okay. See, these guys have a script. Have you ever noticed that? Yeah. Yeah. I have to say though that these idiots on Twitter are a bit more tenacious than the ones we run across on Facebook. Those guys are just That ain't even. I'm half awake. Ain't even had coffee, and I fucking wrecked these guys, man. What's he talking about? The water isn't required at all. Oh, talking about refraction, as if he understands any of it. I'm looking down here to see. I think they might have just got off me. A lot of these guys have gone to the point where they won't even talk to me. Oh no, IEA affiliate, conspiracy smasher. There he is. There he is. He made it. In answer to this tweet. Ha, this is funny. Okay, because there's his little avatar missing. He's on a milk carton. Been gone. He lives. It's a clone. I'm convinced it can't be the real you. And he says, Bill's boyfriend got smoked by me. You all saw the Conspiracy Smasher episode, didn't you? I hope so. If you haven't, go back and look. We brought this bozo up off of Twitter. This guy was so brilliant. Oh my God. What a fucking mensa. Billy hid like the little boy bitch he is. See, they don't ever have anything. They never have anything. But that's interesting that he responded finally. But he's been, you notice you don't see Kenny except for in the likes. You see that? He's learned to shut up. Because I told him to go sit the fuck down. He got his ass handed to him in every way, shape, or form. Yeah, they're they've totally just gone out. No more. This guy here, Trent, I'm gonna have to work on this guy a little bit. He's a real idiot. I think he's one of Toon's people. I noticed Toon didn't have nothing left to say. I commented on another. I says, no fluid pressure without containment, Toon. You fucking clown. What do you think about that? Nothing. Crickets. They don't want to go there. Because they know what it means, man. They know what it means. And as much as we get this out there and people actually go in there, we got to go to the basics of their stupid claim. The crap that they're espousing doesn't match reality. And we all know those basic little fucking things that I showed are exactly what we need to go to, right? What in the fuck is wrong with you, man? So Sovereign used a bird as a comparison. Yeah, that's what I did. You understand what the fucking comparison is, you moron? You look up at things in the sky and equate them to shit you see on the ground. What's wrong with you? Do you not get that? Why do I have to lead you through every little step of thinking? Just like I did those retards at the Best Buy. I had to walk them through every fucking step of the thing of how to fix my computer. And as you see, it's still not goddamn fixed. So something's going on that I'm not too happy about, but I don't know. We'll see. So far, so good. We haven't had a problem again. Keep our fingers crossed. There's Angela's up here. What's going on? This girl, all she does is grow things, man. This girl has like a garden full of shit. Every day on Facebook, I'm seeing all this shit about, she's always canning and stuff. And it's like, whoa, man. So if the apocalypse happens, head to her and Sean Alke's joint because they got plenty of food, man. It's going to be good. Sovereign, does ferrofluid need a container to be held to a magnet? I'm not even going to dignify that fucking question with an answer, M-Ball. How does that even equate to anything we're goddamn talking about? Is air magnetic? Huh? Let's see. Hydrogen's not. Oxygen's not. Nitrogen's not. Carbon dioxide's not. Argon's not. Geez, where are you going with this, M-Ball? Who you calling? I'm calling you a moron. Just because you memorize some bullshit that somebody told you, but you can't understand even the first fundamentals of fluid dynamics that a child can understand. Holy God. I've had people on those demonstrations say this should be shown in school. Well, yeah, why not? Holy shit. Call it, yeah, don't start your bullshit. You have no answer that fits what you think. What are you talking about? Hit the link, M-Ball. I'm really curious to see how if your whole thought process is reflected by your comments in this chat. I can't only imagine what the fuck it's like to actually talk to you. I'm curious. Come on up. I won't beat you up, man. I want you to understand this. Because this whole thing right here, you realize that this destroys your fucking globe, right? It's over. It's over. You can't have it. I believe that. I believe that you would suck balls. I do. I don't know. What do you think, man? Explain why my cat is black on top and white underneath. There you go. Yeah, if the Earth's flat, how does ZXL Master's cat have two different colors? This is what you fucking morons say. This is what the kind of shit you guys say, too. This is, if the Earth is flat, then how come trees grow? I never saw a plant growing out of a toilet before. Fucking idiocracy, man. I'm convinced we live in it. I am. More of these people that think they're goddamn smart and can't think, that just blows me away. I just can't. I just can't, man. I don't even know how the fuck these people can do anything. You'd have to walk them through. I can only imagine what it was like to toilet train these fucking people. You'd have to repeatedly go through every step involved with wiping your ass with these people. I am not kidding you, including telling them to be sure and keep the paper between your hand and your shit. You know, I mean, God damn, man. What are you, some kind of an engineer or something? Oh, why are you reading that stuff? Are you a fag? Jesus Christ, man. Go sit down, M-Ball. I can't believe you. I really can't. I'm flabbergasted that you're a member of my species. It's unsettling, to say the least. Then we had Sean, our good friend Sean Hawkins. What a mensch, huh? Atmo doesn't mean gas. Look it up, stupid. Air, gas, vapor, all synonymous, of which our atmos consists of all of these things. And they're all fluids, which in order to have pressure requires what? Everybody, come on, class, say it together. Containment, sir. That's right. That's fake M-Ball. Oh my God, no, I don't. One of you is enough. One of you is enough. How do I tell you apart? Oh, don't pull that imposter. Who's an imposter? You're just saying that. How do I know you're any different? My IQ is higher than all of your penis lengths combined. And so what would that be? Have you taken an inventory of everyone's penis? And why are you measuring everybody's penis as a reference to your IQ? I'm just curious how you got from your IQ to measuring everybody's goddamn dick. I don't know. You're kind of weird, man. Gotta say, you're kind of weird. Are you really M-Ball? Are you the imposter? Is that what you're gonna say? Shit. I don't know, you guys. Come on. So I'm not seeing. Wait a second. Is this Ken? No, Kenny like to post. See that? He's kept his mouth shut. He took me out of any of his thread. He don't like talking to me, I guess. Probably because I wrote that song for him about being a retard. Oh yeah, look at this guy. He was whacking it over this. His Coleco football or whatever, Mattel football. Man,
Electronic football.
yeah, I remember those in junior high, man. There was people getting those took from them all the time. You're not allowed to bring that to class. Look at this guy. What a nerd. Talking about this is his reminiscing of high school. Okay, think about this. When you reminisce about high school, Brad, don't you always think about the fucking calculator you had?
Only when you put those numbers and flipped it upside down.
Right. But I'm
And
thinking,
it
I
wrote
mean,
hello.
who in the hell does that? I mean, think about it. Who in the hell does that? This is this guy's high school reminiscing right here. You know, I'm thinking about good times with my friends and different classes I had, teachers that made me laugh, you know, shit like that. This guy's over here like, oh, this was my prom date. This was my prom date. It was a Texas Instruments. I still have it. We have a thing on the side. I mean, god damn, man. Give me a fucking break with these people. I just can't get with it. Was this Kenny again? He said something. Look at all the satellites, he says. Look at the, you guys want to see his proof of satellites? Here's Kenny. Here it is.
Okay.
He said to me, he's telling me, he said, look at all these satellites, David, lining up exactly where they are predicted to be. Well, I can't argue with a fucking cartoon, I'll tell you what. Look at that shit. Wow. You gotta be kidding me, man. Oh, here's Conspiracy Smasher. Oh, he's a retard. So yeah, 3 hours is about the last time this jackwagon talked to me. Oh, here's hot air balloons in Australia seen from outer space. Do you understand? Does anybody understand what such an environment as they claim that space is, right? Do you understand what that would do to your fucking vestibular system? I mean, think about that. The thing that keeps you balanced, right? You ever had an inner ear infection and you'd like walk like a drunk? You get out of equilibrium, right? Okay. You know what that would do to your vestibular system with no orientation whatsoever for it?
That's what I think.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you something, M. Ball. This is not a departure. There's no need to announce. This is not an airport. There's no need to announce your departure. If you're going to leave, just go ahead and leave. Thank you for flying the friendly skies. Right. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. So it's Friday night. People have lives. They're not on here tonight. That's cool, though, because I'm not going to make a big, long broadcast. I haven't rebooted again yet, so that might just be a fluke. We'll see if it keeps happening. I have to make some calls anyways, but we'll check it out. I'll probably go off of here in a little bit. And I guess Honest Composer might have a show going tonight. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. Let me see what he's got going on here tonight because he's fun. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Let's see. But that doesn't mean it's not going. Maybe there's a announcement. Oh, Jurassic Liars is live. You guys want to take a look at him? Yeah, that's the pigeon pecker guy. Oh no, his thing's gone. He got took out. He removed it. Well, I guess he's not live anymore. Okay. Oh, fuck him. Globebusters 24/7. That's been going. That's pretty good. Have you ever seen it? I like to put it on and just while I'm doing shit, and it's just a whole bunch of flat Earth shit just playing 24 hours.
I know I'll do that. I mean, I'm kind of weird that way in some ways because I'll like. There's some people that I can't like watch. Like I'll try to watch McToon just to hear what he has to say. But I can't. I don't know why.
Jerk ass fucking look on his face, man. I want to smack it
Maybe
right off of him because I know he's deceiving, and it's like Duper's Delight, you know? It's like Duper's Delight, and
it's almost like I can see it in his face. There's something about it's almost like he knows what it's just like. Yeah, it's just really weird. It's like one of them people that you hear them talking and you're listening, then you're just like, you got to get away from that kind of person.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that like in a bad way, because I mean, he's on the YouTube doing his thing, but
What's with his goddamn little rocket ships and bullshit and toys and shit all around him? Like some kind of a goddamn adolescent, you know? I think these guys topped out in high school.
Sometimes she ended up at a chiropractor with not much for results, and then a physiotherapist, and not much
So
was
anyway,
going on.
that link I just put in the chat, that's for that Globebusters 24/7 channel. It's pretty good. I watch it when I'm not doing anything or got something else going on. I just have that going in the background. Usually, like when people come over or something, that's when it's really cool because somebody will come over and I'll have that playing in the background and shit. They get kind of going, you know, they hear it in the background while we're talking, maybe smoking a bowl or something like that. And I'll just say, oh, yeah, man, this is a good point. That guy just made a good point. And they're like, oh, yeah, I never thought about that or whatever. And it opens up for discussion. I mean, it's a hell of a lot better thing to have grinding in the background than a fucking Fox News channel or CNN or some dumb shit like that.
death metal.
Yeah, put it on put it on gas station TV for Christ's sake. Why do we have gas station TV, man?
You can get this shock and you can put it with this tire and you can drive over a rock out in the desert. It's like, okay. And I mean, nothing against rock crawling and stuff, but some of those shows are just like, okay, you know. But
Well, who
they get
decided that
small.
I needed to watch a television while I was pumping my gas? And who decided that I have to pump my own fucking gas? I remember when they used to come out and do it for you. You remember that?
Yeah.
God,
I
man,
know now
I
you're doing this.
remember because I was a little kid, man. I thought, all right, so I'd go with my dad. He had this Pontiac Tempest, right? Big old red Pontiac Tempest. And we go to the gas station, and he'd just tell the guy would come out there and say, yes, sir. And he'd say, can you fill it up with regular, right? Or fill it up with whatever. And the guy would say, yes, sir. And he'd roll over there and he'd start put the nozzle in and he'd get the gasoline going and he'd come over and wipe your windshield off and squeegee it and he'd, check your tire pressure. Usually ask you want me to check your oil, sir? Because this is ways they can have potential sales of oil and shit like that. So, this was a good thing. That guy was an agent of the proprietor. So I remember my dad would pay for it, and this guy, he'd pull, the attendant, he'd pull out this great big freaking huge wad of cash. Well, that was his bank, because he wasn't going back inside. He was selling so much gas he was responsible for, and he'd turn it all in at the end of the shift, right? I didn't know that. And I thought, that guy at the gas station makes fucking bank, man. I want to work at the gas station. That dude, did you see the wad of cash in that dude's pocket? That was insane. And that's the way I was looking at it. I thought that seems to me to be the way to go. Fuck going to college,
I mean, they could even count. You could count change back then.
They
Like
would.
they give you a 20. You could actually count the change back without needing a calculator.
Dude, it was such a different world. It was such a different world. And I really, I'm not a big fan of the world we've got today. I just really am not. It's so not what it's backwards completely to what we had. The way I see kids, act and talk to their parents and other adults and shit like that. It just floors me. It's like I would have been picking my fucking lips up off the floor. You knew where your limits were. Mom's shoe came off. You knew you fucked up. And my mom wouldn't hesitate to beat a kid's ass with her shoe. Hers or somebody else's. It didn't fucking matter. That's how the world was, man.
Yeah, well, it's just like tonight. I walk to the store. I go in the store, and it's like, well, how is it nowadays, right? Well, nowadays, if the cashier, before, if the cashier messed up, you could just have a discrepancy on your receipt. You show them your receipt and go, hey, yeah, this was this much, this, that. Now, the workers, they stand there and watch you And now you got to check your own self out. And if you make a mistake, they call it shoplifting. And it's like, what do you mean? You're forcing me to do your job.
Yeah, it's
You know?
backwards, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like I get shoplifting if I make a mistake, checking my own self out at the grocery store, while the employee looks at a little, like a phone device, and they just stand there and watch everybody do the cashier's job that they really should be doing. But yeah, it's like drives me nuts. It's like, wait a minute, how is that even? But yeah, it's like that's the way it is nowadays, I guess.
Look at all poor Kenny's on here bitching about. He says all the flatties talking about this NATO conspiracy have me blocked. Gee, I wonder why. It's probably because you're a puss. I should repost my video of him though. I really should. Did you see my song I wrote? The little song that I did about Kenny?
No, I heard you wrote one.
That's pretty cool. I can.
But did you actually spell the word out when you were singing it?
No. It was just it's just a little song about Kenny. Let me see if I can find it. I know I got it. Yeah, let me see. I'll go here. And let's see, I have to go here. I go here. And let me see if I can find my little song about you remember Kenny eating a dick. He was in there losing his fucking mind in my chat. He came from over here. There's a little song I did about him. It's kind of cool. Oops, I don't have to do that. All I gotta do is this.
Dum 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 dum. Kenny is so dumb, 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 dumb. Retarded Kenny, dumb, 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 dumb. Fucking moron. Kenny is dumb.
What do you think?
I know. I almost started going.
It's a little take on the "Come and Go with Me" song. You know that one.
I know you got to be real careful to do that because Jeebus did it and got the. What did you say about Jeebus? He was tone deaf. Yeah, that's right.
Who's tone deaf? Me or
Jeebus? He was singing.
Yeah.
Jeebus Chris.
He's good with keyboards and stuff, but and it's hard sometimes too because if you're not really hearing. I've been in a situation like that when you're not really hearing the true sound of your instrument. And I just feel it match my voice up, if possible. And and I have to be able to hear it. I have to be able to hear it in order to match it. I can't just go, oh, that's that note, because there's different frequencies, there's different pitches to different songs. You're never gonna find them at exactly the same hertz. You know what I'm saying? They're always like sometimes they'll speed a track up more than what it was actually recorded at, or actually slow it down or something like that. So it changes the pitch when it's compared to the rest of the songs on the album. They're always fucking with my frequencies, man. I don't like it.
So what was Kenny talking about? The UN what? They blocked him because he was talking about the conspiracy of the UN?
Oh, yeah, I guess there's some people talking about the UN, and I guess basically it might be an extension of something that I've said a few times. I don't know. I'll have to go in and look. But like I've said before, we've been under a world government since at least the late 40s. And an illusion of international sovereignty has been placed in its place. You know what I mean? A good indication of these things are like the UN Treaty, the Arctic Treaty, all of the little policies that seem to be agreed upon by every nation on Earth during the last 3 years, almost within a lockstep manner. That would indicate top-down control, compartmentalization through the illusion of international sovereignty, but ultimately ruled by one source. The UN is actually running, but administering it to the various illusory sovereign nations. Does that make sense?
Yes. I mean, because they do, it's like you were saying back in the 40s or whatever, because, right, if you go back, I mean, this is just speculation on my part, or I don't want to say speculation, but something is like there was a League of Nations, and, you know, it all started with that. And the UN is just that second head of that beast, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Oh my God, no. There's a serious accusation by Michelle Obama. She claims Russell Brand touched her weenie. What do y'all think about that?
That's not true.
Fake news?
Well, I don't think it's true. I shouldn't say that's not true.
Oh my God, look at what a fat ass Alex Jones has turned into. Look at this crazy looking bastard. He got fat. What happened to his slim diet shit where he was like showing how he turned red after taking this healthy supplement or something?
This is what the New World Order said they would do is coming true. They're going to carry out the forced depopulation of 90% of us, and their time frame is 2030, and they have their surrogates all over the news telling us that it's the end of the world as we know it, and that it's our fault all the systems are breaking down, while they deliberately go down the line, turning the civilization infrastructure off in front of us. And everything else flows downstream from that. But that's the fount of it. BlackRock with $15 trillion in liquid assets, they've got quadrillions leveraged, and they control almost every major CEO, almost every major pension fund. And they get up on TV and say, we're going to control every aspect of your life. We're going to break your families up. We're going to make you eat bugs. And we're going to, do all of this. And it's their policies that can destroy any company they want that doesn't get in line.
Well, I got to say, that fat bastard looks like he's eating pretty goddamn good for being somebody who lost millions of dollars in a lawsuit. I don't know, man.
This is what the New World Order.
What the hell? Why is he so huge? Look how fat he got, man. I haven't
That's
seen
what
him.
happens. Yeah, that's what happens to people. I mean, it's really weird. It's almost like you see it a lot in people that do that flip and that switch. It's like they just end up, I don't know if it's like a gluttony thing that it ends up showing within them because of what they're actually doing outside of themselves and accomplishing or something, that somehow it shows up within them. Like, why is he so big?
Oh, shit. Oh, here's another good follow.
Man, we were doing good. Talked about Alex and froze. Maybe there's something to that. Break 1-9. Moon bounce. Over. I have to recalibrate. I lost the bounce off the moon.
I'm back.
See, you gotta watch what you're talking about, man.
Jesus.
Man. We talked about how big Alex was. And
I was going to show this little thing I saw by an account on here called Sacred. Maybe I can find it up again. But it was really cool showing how that stupid Foucault's pendulum shit. I think that's what he was talking about. You know, this is what gets me, right? They rely on these parlor tricks and bullshit. You know, well, we can prove rotation of the earth. Really? How? Well, we use this Cavendish experiment. Really? What's that? Well, you see, Cavendish, he took these balls and he hung them outside in a shed, you see. And he went into his house and he watched them through binoculars. And he noticed that they moved. And he concluded that that must be because mass was attracting mass. Really? That's stupid. That's stupid. That really is. That's dumb. We proved, what's the other? I'm sorry, that was Cavendish. And then they got the other one, the Foucault, right? Well, that proves the rotation of the earth. No, it doesn't prove the fucking rotation of the earth. The goddamn thing, sometimes it don't go anywhere. Sometimes it turns. Sometimes it goes the wrong way. It's depends on the way it's influenced when you start swinging it. Have you ever seen a crane sitting in a damn construction site just start swinging because of the rotation of the earth or anything like that? Also, if the damn thing's anywhere where we live, wouldn't that thing be going perpendicular to the fucking rotation of the earth? And what's that going to show? Just some of the dumbest shit that they come up with and want to try to float by everybody. And, oh no, it's already forming. You guys just suggest I can just look 10 to 20 miles away. Oh, I wondered, is it shrinking? Oh, let me share this. Hold on a second. I'm going to share the screen. It's something I'm going to learn to do because of this little reboot problem. If I do this, then it'll be in my time. He says here, The Simpsons never lied. Get ready. Oh, shit. Okay, well, I'll go back here. So it's already forming. You guys are so distracted you don't see it. Just try to look 10 to 20 miles away. What are they saying? Let me look at some comments on this. What's 20 miles away? Most people nowadays don't have the capability to think that far ahead. Critical thinking is a thing of the past. God help us. Is there more? Well, I don't see any more on that, but it is interesting. I was thinking that. I was like, how would you know if that fucking thing was shrinking on you, man? You probably wouldn't. I don't know. I don't think you would. Let me go back over here and see something that I was looking for. I want to get back out of this. Okay, good. It took over where I was at before it fucked up on me. Thank God. All right, that was there. I'm just going to go over a couple more things, and then I'm going to call it a night and perhaps play around and see if I can figure out what the fuck is going on with this damn system. Because it's obviously not fixed. Obviously. Or I would not be having the same problem. So I'm trying, what is this about? What's his name? Alex Stein, prime time on the grind. Is a time traveler here? No. Trying to see. I'm going to go over here to Bill's or Ted's page. He's usually got some good shit on here. See if we find. That's where I got that last one with the capsule being pushed out the back of a window. Just a total eclipse plane on a flat Earth. All right. You guys want to see how they do an eclipse? I'm going to share this in case we lose it. I'm going to heart it. I'm going to go like this. And this one takes about 5 minutes. It gives me time to smoke a bowl, man. So enjoy.
We are told that the moon is reflecting light from Earth, but does the Earth reflect light to the moon? If that were true, then the new moon phase would not exist, which is when the moon is not seen and disappears. If the moon were in total darkness, then it should be illuminated by the Earth, because that's when it's supposedly closest. But that, of course, does not happen. So the observations and experiments lead to the conclusion that the moon shines with its own light. It is not a reflector of the sun's light, but absolutely self-luminous. The Earth has been shown to have neither orbital nor axial motion, therefore, it could never come between the sun and the moon. According to the tests of the Earth, we live in a plane, always under the sun and the moon. Therefore, to speak of its interception with the light of the sun and to project its own shadow on the moon is physically impossible. In addition to the previous difficulties or incompatibilities, there are many cases that recorded that the sun and the moon were eclipsed when they were both above the horizon, without being aligned with the Earth. This has occurred on different dates throughout history, phenomena that were recorded by astronomers and observers. The above, then, does not square with the idea that a lunar eclipse arises from a shadow of the Earth. Astronomers in the past have come to the conclusion that there is at least one non-luminous body of considerable magnitude that is connected as a satellite to this Earth.
Yep.
And there are invisible moons in the sky.
That's what I think too, man.
This satellite is called the shadow object or anti-moon. What makes eclipses possible only when the three bodies, sun, object and moon, are aligned, and when the moon crosses the orbital plane of the sun, at a point called the node. So a lunar eclipse occurs when the stark, non-luminous body passes before the moon, or between the surface of the moon and the observer on the surface of the Earth. The existence of dark bodies that revolve around luminous objects in the sky. It has been admitted by practical observers from the earliest stages, and that nowadays a great deal of evidence has accumulated on the subject. That astronomers are forced to admit that there are not only dark bodies that occasionally obscure luminous stars when they are in conjunction, but there are large cosmic bodies, and that at least one is connected as a satellite to this Earth. Many people who are not familiar with the methods for calculating eclipses and other phenomena tend to regard such calculations as powerful arguments in favor of the spherical Earth doctrine and Newtonian philosophy in general, but it has nothing to do with it. It is not difficult to form a general notion of the process of calculating eclipses. It can be easily conceived by prolonged observations on the sun and the moon. The lunar eclipse is a phenomenon that comes in patterns. By studying these patterns, it is possible to predict when the next transit or eclipse will occur.
What?
The astronomer can use historical tables with some equations to predict the weather, the magnitude and duration of a future eclipse. This also does not apply only to the eclipse. All recurring phenomena, such as transits of the planets, the concealments of bodies and the precision of the paths through the sky are predictable only because they are phenomena that come in patterns. Astronomers predict celestial events by studying the patterns and calculating when the next will occur. Actually, NASA freely admits that they use ancient cycle tables for their eclipse predictions. The Saros cycle and those ancient and dejected methods that simply look at past patterns in the sky to predict the next one is precisely how modern theorists.
Incidentally, that's the one that goes all the way back to ancient Babylon. And these globers, well, flat earthers can't predict an eclipse. It's in a pattern. Flat earthers figured out the pattern. It's what they use today.
Predict the lunar eclipse today. The tables of the places of the sun and the moon, of the eclipses and of the related phenomena, have existed for thousands of years, and formed independently of each other by the Chaldeans, Babylonians, Egyptians, Hindus, Chinese, and other ancient astronomers. Modern science has had nothing to do with this, beyond making them a little more exact, averaging and reducing the fractional errors that a longer observation period has detected. But those predictions do not contribute to our knowledge of the causes of eclipses, and they don't allow us to predict anything that hasn't happened hundreds of times.
Huh. So what are your thoughts on that, man?
We are told that the moon is reflected.
I think that's And these dark objects, listen, there's other people that have actually gone and taken, you can find the videos of them when you look at these objects and some of these, like the sun and things like that with a polarizing filter, and you block out the sun with the polarization, you actually get another image. You see something else, like almost like the source or something like that. So this whole thing where they've got everybody believing that we have a full knowledge of the sky and the things in it, that's a bunch of shit. They don't. All we know is where they move to. They're in predictable patterns. And that's why they can be eclipsed, or why they can be predicted. Eclipses, any of it. So what's going on, Joe?
Nothing, buddy. How you guys doing?
Oh, we're there, man.
Catch up to you before you close it out for the night, man. Say hi.
Well, I'm glad you had an opportunity to pop on then.
Yeah, for sure, man. Agree, and agree.
So, this is cute. People making all kinds of memes about the little clay alien. That's what I call it, the little clay Mexican alien.
Right. Yeah, that's the big news.
Information that will lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton 5 hours later. There they are. So, what do you think? Is that thing real, or what's going on?
I'm getting sucked into it. It's not real. There's just no way. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, God, aliens. And as far as aliens, like from the other lands, possibly, it's just a word. What do you call, other people, extra terra? But yeah, I don't know, man. What do you guys think?
I think I don't think there's I think that thing's made out of fucking paper mache or something, man.
Yeah. Most things are lies, man. That's all.
I mean, everything else is fake. Why not?
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm gonna start believing shit now. So,
yeah, I mean, criminally. I mean, this might be pretty good, actually. Let me see if this is good. You guys like Conspiracy Music Guru?
Yeah.
This is just a little short thing. I don't know. I haven't listened to it. It's only 27 seconds. Let me listen.
Oh, from President Nixon. Well, listen up, they're doing it again, it seems. Check out the harnesses and green screens. I used to work a lot in film and TV. I know a bit about the television trickery to create the illusion that you're somewhere that you're not. A green screen is what you're gonna use a lot. Or if you wear...
God damn it, here it goes.
No way.
No, wait, hold on. What happened?
Well, if I knew the song, I'd keep on going with it. But he was right.
I liked
He blinked out. He
on
blinked
it,
out.
man.
Yeah, because I was like, as long here he comes.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Right? Well, I guess we're going to be back on with these motherfuckers again tomorrow. I'm
Same shit,
man. This is bullshit, and I already know they do. They don't follow through.
Yeah.
Because fuck, man, I've been dealing with this shit for now a week.
I know.
And okay, we'll fix it. And if this time I actually had to go through and tell them, hey, here's the fucking problem. But you know what they did? They said, oh, and then we turned on the camera and everything seemed to be working fine. So we were at 2:59. I'm going to remember that timestamp because I'm going to say, here's one point and I'll find the other points. And I'll say, you go through that and you tell me what the fuck was going on. See if you find the commonalities, and you either fix that son of a bitch or you replace it. One of the two. That's all I can say, because it wasn't rebooting on me before you fucked with it.
Right.
All I had was glitching going on with the camera. Next thing I know, it's fucking rebooting on me. That's not on me. That's on you. Now, if you have to eat it, I don't give a shit. Eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you say reboot, do you mean like the whole operating system and it just
The whole
roughly
machine.
starts back in? Yeah.
The whole machine powers down and restarts and comes up, and the little fucking thing comes up with the BIOS and everything, and then, you know, like how it does when you first turn it on, man.
Wow, and then it just comes back because that didn't seem that long for it to power down and power up and open everything up.
No, it works really good. And as soon as it came back on, all I had to do is I clicked on the browser and it said restore session. I hit that and just clicked on go in studio.
Huh.
But it doesn't change the fact that it's not supposed to fucking do that, man.
It just reboots.
That just ain't cool as shit at all. I don't know where that shit's coming from or why it's happening, but it's going to have to stop. So I don't know, man. Looks like I'm going to have to probably go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and close it down anyway. It's been going 3 hours, and
Nice, buddy.
you're going to want to watch anyway. So I think I
Yep.
got points, and we got a chance to benchmark test this thing, and I'll be able to have a marker point and then go back and check those other spots where I rebooted.
I mean, there was certain things talked about Alex Jones that blinked out. You just talked about some grays, some extra testicles blinked out.
Yeah. Went over to Rumble the other night to watch Algorithm, and that was freezing and stuff like that, man, because he was having problems. He's trying to get over there, you know. It's like, it's crazy, man.
Well, that seems to always happen when this goddamn thing comes up and says that I got a weak signal, right?
Yeah.
So why do I got a good signal now? I haven't changed the goddamn thing. I haven't gone anywhere else. Everything's still in the same place.
Right.
So why in the hell is my signal no good? And then all of a sudden now it's good. So when it gets low like that, it seems like when it's a low signal, or it says that I have a weak connection, and I'm putting a load like having you guys on camera, me on a green screen, and then sharing video, that seems to be what's fucking overloading it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Is it overloading it or is it overheating it or overloading it? Because I mean, you know, weak signal can't cause your computer to shut down and reboot, but your computer
right. That's what I'm
wanting
thinking.
to shut down.
I don't know. So it's got to be something in that. That's a thing I've noticed. It's a commonality that's happening within this problem. You know, and this is what I was trying to tell that guy. I was like, look, this is how we deduce what's going on, right? This is how we do it. We go, okay, we know it's not this, and we know it's not this. So it must be something in between this and this.
Don't you know?
I mean, it's like they taught us in the Army when I was in signal is follow the signal path, man, from the antenna all the way to the fucking transmitter. Then you'll be able to eliminate your problem 9 out of 10 times, you know. And if it's not something you got, then it's something with the RT. You're going to have to take it down and have it fixed. That's all.
Yep.
Hopefully
Absolutely.
not taking it to the fucking Geek Squad because these guys are a joke, man.
Yeah.
That's just weird. It's just weird to figure out that, you know, it's not booting your internet or your network, like if your network card or whatever, because it's not booting you just off the internet. It's actually shutting your machine shutting down.
Yes.
That's the weird part. But this still goes. It's like we'll still be here talking and everything, but you're booted, and it's like it's weird because it's your. I don't know. It's not your computer, right? We're running.
It's the streaming software is online, right? So StreamYard is not on my computer. Okay, I access it from my computer. So if I get booted and I haven't ended the stream, it'll just keep going till I run out of time if I can't get back. You know, so as long as you guys are there, and that's why I say, you know, if I go into hyperspace, just hang tight, I'll be right back. But that's not acceptable at all. I can't be having that. I'm going to have to find some way to have them fix that or whatever. But either way, that's what they're paid for. That's why I have that service. So God damn it, you either fix it or replace the goddamn thing, one of the two. I can't have this crap, man. I can't. And see, like right now, showing I got a great signal. What? I didn't do nothing different.
I know. Do they control it or something? The city or whoever the company, you know? Like, why? Why is that? It's not water, you know?
I know, right? It's like, what are you doing? And this is supposed to be the 5G network and shit, you know?
Actually, everything, even water's controlled by pumps. They're your pressure, 100% controlled by pumps. So yeah, it's bullshit, man.
So don't tell me it's my goddamn modem, because I've gone through 3 or 4 fucking modems. They always say that it's not my modem. It's your shitty goddamn hookup, man. So get out here and fix it. I don't give a fuck what you got to do. Fix it.
Your modem wouldn't shut your computer down.
No. But still, that's just another thing. I get these fucking things coming up saying, oh, you have a weak internet signal, and blah, blah, blah. It cuts out on me sometimes, all the time, the entire internet signal. I got to wait for it to come back. I mean, am I compensated the amount of time that I was not allowed to be online? Does that get prorated into my bill? Fuck no. So it's like they got you by the balls, and you just have to put up with their shitty system. Oh, you can get HughesNet. Oh, yeah, that's real good. If I was using Prodigy. God.
They got a kill switch. Dadgummit. I'm curious though, what is the rabbit hole with the aliens, right? You know, because it's like everybody be like the conspiracy. I don't want to say conspiracy because conspiracy's like, but you know, oh, there's going to be an alien invasion, and it's just like,
yeah, big distraction.
And then they come up, and it's like, oh yeah, look, now we're going to start talking about it, and it's just like
they can project, you know, images in the sky and all that type of shit. You know what I mean?
So what's the UN and the WEF's major goal? What is their major goal? A new world order, a one world government, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what do we have Reagan talking about in the 80s when, in regards to our adversarialship with Russia? Wouldn't it be something if the people of Earth had to come together in unison due to an outside invasion? You know, along those lines right there, we see it seeded in movies like Independence Day, like that, right? All of our science fiction of the future, Star Trek, shit. Countries are like now eliminated. It's all the Federation of Planets, blah, 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 blah. They've been seeding you for this shit, right? And so an alien invasion, real enough, if they got everybody convinced of it, unfortunately, there's so many of us that talk about this crap that I'd be surprised if 50% of the people even believe it. We know that they have incredible 7D technology, holographic technology. They can cloak things with quasi crystals. There's all kinds of manner of trickery, illusory trickery that will be used. Now, mark my words, the destruction will be altogether real. The space aliens will not be. Okay, you will never see the space aliens yourself. They may show.
We might.
No,
but they'll be cloned. They'll be cloned things. It'll be like a built something. It'll be like let's say a clone, but they're going to do something to it to make it.
They don't even need to. All they have to do is have the president meeting with a couple of them or some shit on TV, right? Walk a couple of puppets in the White House. That's good enough for people. Look at, they believe the space station, for Christ's sake.
Can you imagine Trump? This is the best alien. He's an alien. The best aliens.
Absolutely, as far as aliens go, he's like Captain Adjective will take 20 minutes describing those fucking things too, man. That's oh my god. No, I mean that's literally all they'd have to show, and combine that with you seeing their craft. Blah blah.
There's a lot of stupid people, man.
Dude, they still believe people are going to space and flying around in a magic space trailer. Doing what?
It's crazy. It's almost like it's so ingrained as kids. I mean, I don't, you know, it goes so far back that space and stuff was almost like a feeling. It was so, they did such a good job with this shit, man, though. Just to give the normies a little break, man. God dang, they did a good job with this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like the flat earth was such a revelation that I feel different. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, man.
Well,
Like,
you got to look at, they've been really hitting it hard too, man, even within the truth community, of going through the guise of, truth tellers. Zachariah Sitchin, and there's Anunnaki bullshit stories and fucking lizard people from outer space jacking off in a pond and all this other dumb shit.
nerds love it, man.
They do. They do.
Mm.
They do. And this is what happens there, cheerleaders, when you reject the nerds. Okay, stop.
Yeah.
Nice to the nerds.
You got a really ultra smart guy who's believing that this nonsense is going to happen. Two things, it's such an out of balance. It's just
they're not smart. They were
Right.
told they're smart because they memorized a bunch of bullshit,
Yeah.
and that's it. When it comes down to it, as I've already seen, when it comes down to actually real thought and putting these principles into practice through thought, it's not there. You have to lead them through every step of it. Why? Because they've never been required to think. Everything is provided to them. This is why when I'm explaining shit, I ask questions. The reason I ask the question is because you're going to think about the question and you're going to come to an answer. And when you come to that answer, you're going to be smart because you came up with it. You don't have an answer because I told it to you.
Yeah.
Right, because I was wondering why everybody would attack people, be like, man, you're stupid or you're dumb or, the flippers or these people they're just unintelligent. And it's almost like that if they even, like sometimes you have to be careful that you don't find yourself that you're still following programming because that's what they did in all them indoctrination stations. If you didn't regurgitate it right during test day, you're dumb. You get an F, you're a failure. You're an idiot. You're a dummy. And then if we repeat that about people now, it's almost like we can't forget that that's still some indoctrination we have to fight within ourselves, to calling people stupid because they're not, following along quite right, or they're not doing whatever. That was done to us too, that we're acting that way because it wasn't.
But I'll take it though. If I'm watching guys in tights on on Sunday, and that is stupid, but I do it. But I admit it.
Right. But I mean,
I don't know. I'm trying to break it.
Like, I don't know. I find absolutely no enjoyment in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah.
It's like there's too much fucking around, I think, between doing anything. I get bored quickly with that shit. I can dig watching a soccer game.
Yeah.
Because that fucking thing just moves, man. It goes.
Pretty cool,
the game. They're not out there patting each other on the ass and standing around, scratching and shit. Baseball, my God, that's about like watching.
Yeah.
Trying.
Kids hate it. Kids like basketball because you play offense and defense, and you're both. You can be the hero like every other game. You can be like the hero and shit. They love it, man. Everybody. So what happens is 50 kids go out for the team, and most of them get cut. So like all these guys, it's funny, man. It's like,
well, playing is one thing. Playing is one thing. Watching somebody else play is another. Okay. Now
that was not an option for my kids.
Occasionally, I can sit and watch a couple of guys play chess because I'm actually working both sides in my head. But I don't want to sit and do that. The only reason I do that is because I like to play chess and I want to see where their minds are at with this strategy and thinking ahead 4 moves or whatnot.
Yeah, cool.
That's intriguing to me.
Right.
To me, I don't know. Football, American football, is a gay metaphor.
Right.
I mean, you got these guys. They dress up in tight pants. They dress like a penis. They look like penises. You got their little hat, their little penis-shaped thing that they're up there, and then they all squat around in front of each other and bend over, and they toss this testicle, this huge testicle. They toss back and forth, this oblong ball. And they fight over it, and then
made of skin.
Then they end up in a great big huge dog pile on top.
Really hug after.
It's like, wow.
But I was okay. But back on the space thing though, the other thing I'm always on oxygen and air, but water, man. My RO system's having a problem, and I'm just here. I'm here on Earth, and I don't even want to go to the store to fix it. What if I'm in space?
Oh my God, right?
I drink so much water. Oh, it's just ridiculous. Impossible. It's an impossibility.
Listen, this is the whole thing too. This idea of 0G is made up. There's no such thing. Everything is in a state of disequilibrium until it finds relative density or nearest relative density. That's all. There is no vacuum. There is no weightlessness, so to speak. There's no
food inside your intestines.
Do you believe that these people think that when someone is in an airplane and it goes into free fall and the people inside the airplane are in free fall, they think that that's 0G? No, it isn't. It's the illusion of 0G because you're in free fall with the very object that you're in. Don't be dumb. So when you do water experiments and stupid shit like that, when it's still in a state of movement and equalization, you're not proving anything. You're only proving what shit does in free fall.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So they got to get off this idea that there's this weightless fucking environment. No such thing exists whatsoever. Okay. That's just retarded thinking. It's more this, this cosmic witchcraft bullshit that they try to blow through your head. But when you really run it through the logic mill and the thought mill, it's like, no, because you got to know that everything that they're pushing at you is the exact opposite of what it is in reality, man. And that goes exactly along with it. Oh, there's a 0G vacuum. No, there's no such thing because a vacuum requires containment, and there's no such thing as constant disequilibrium. No, it's not happening.
How would you digest your food? Would your food float inside your intestines? Like,
I know, right?
I mean, come on, man. It's stupid. It's so stupid. It's beyond stupid.
It is. I mean, and the whole idea, like when I said, what would it do to your fucking vestibular system? You know, I mean, this is
how would you keep from choking? How would you keep from choking like drinking something? It would be like going down and coming back up as soon as you choke to talk, your vocal cords or whatever that flap is.
Yeah,
you'd have acid reflux.
Uvula. That's called the uvula. That little hanging down thing in the back. That's called the uvula. It sounds like part of the sex organ, doesn't it? That's my uvula, baby.
That's a flappy uvula. It's almost like that flappy space hatch on the International Space Station.
Oh God, man! Don't even get me started on those guys with that stupid thing. And their hairspray and their harnesses and all the rest of the nonsense.
You know, it's really weird because it's like
10 hours of that.
Flat earthers against the globers. But then it's like sometimes I'll even watch that it makes me curious. It's like one flat earther place, like let's say that guy deep inside the rabbit hole, he'll be like, he's like flat earther. But then he'll be bad-mouthing the Flat Earth Society because he'll be claiming, well, they're like the organized gatekeepers or whatever or something. And it's just like, but it's weird. It's just like.
You ever seen some of the shit they push, man? A constant upward acceleration of Earth.
Yeah, they're not. That's why Obama mentioned him that one time to get you to go Google them and stuff. Because we don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society, you know.
I'm like, that's cool. Why don't you talk to us real people then?
Yeah.
Right? Well, you got to be real careful too. There's people out there that are gatekeepers, you know, like Fetzer, Jim Fetzer. This guy's
like Alex Jones.
Yeah, Alex Jones. All of them, man. And listen, you can get started into the rabbit hole real good with those guys, but be careful because they'll lead you the wrong fucking way.
Is he a flat earther, Alex Jones?
Alex Jones, I don't know what he is.
No.
I discounted him almost immediately after I met him.
Yeah. Oh, you met him? Yeah.
I met him, and he's got deceitful eyes. I always look.
Wow. Wow. Fascinating.
Yeah, I almost don't like calling him Alex Jones. I just want to call him Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, Bill, people will do that to him too, because he even said it. He'll be going in some place, somebody go, hey, Bill, and he'll try to catch him to turn around. He says he catches himself though, because he knows they're trying to jack with him.
Who knows, man? It's crazy.
Ryan here just put a expander onto my little tagline. Said, "Don't trust Whitey or Zachariah snitching."
Go see your doctor and fire him.
Yeah. I said, listen, I went one time, and it occurred to me, and this was a long time ago, and it occurred to me right then. I was like, these people are just salesmen, man, right? So they said, oh, you might have a chemical imbalance in your brain. I was like, I do. And they said, yeah. They said, we have a prescription for that. And I said, well, what is the prescription? I said, I don't understand, man. What chemical in my brain is out of balance? You didn't even do any fucking tests, man. You're just going to sell me a pill? Or are we just going to take crap shoots to determine which one's right? Oh, that one made you fucking piss yourself and forget your name. I guess that one wasn't the right one. I mean, come on, man. What are you doing? So I was like, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing that. I don't even want no part of you, man. Your whole idea is to either give me some kind of fucking poison or cut something off. Outside of that, you don't know what to do. You'll send me off and have them look at me with all kinds of magic gizmos and shit and still not find nothing, because you're not physicians. You're doctors. You're not physicians. You're doctors. And what happens if you doctor the books? Yeah, that means you cheated, right? Right.
How funny, isn't it?
There's all kinds of stuff about doctors, though. It's kind of like, the spell of illness they talk about, and they talk about the doctor as like the dude at the dock, because like when your mama's water broke, that was the vessel coming through, and the doctor's like the person on the dock that receives the packages out of the vessel on the waters coming into the land. It's all kinds of weird stuff.
That's crazy, man. Well, listen, I'm going to give it a go around, let you all say one thing before we go off here, and then I'm going to sign out and get myself something to eat.
Nice.
So I'll go.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first, Mo.
Don't trust Whitey sounds racist.
No, man. It's a dude I know named Whitey.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know that guy?
Not in the old days. It wasn't.
no, I don't know.
Remember Whitey Bulger?
Yeah.
That guy,
Don't
you
trust
don't
him.
trust him. He was terrible, that guy,
Okay, I'm out.
Listen, if I said don't trust Blackie, they would shut me down.
Yeah.
Gotta pick your battles, man.
Yeah.
How about you, Joe King?
Okay. All right. One thing. The latest thing I found in my backyard. That's a brick.
Oh, wow.
I took a Sharpie. That's stamped on there. Reno.
Is that like where it's made? Are you in Nevada?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you close? Are you going to Flattoberfest?
No, I want to, man, so bad, but that's actually like 8-9 hours from me. Like it's half. It's like 4 hours to get to the Bay Area, but it's like 8 or 9 to get to Vegas from where I'm at. So it's just too much for me, man. I want to so bad though. One of these years, maybe next year.
Well, you're closer than I am, though. I got to come all the way from Virginia, so
You're gonna get on a plane and probably get how much, 10 hours or something like that, or
5.
Oh yeah, 5. Yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah,
5.
it's not that bad.
I'll definitely be videotaping. I have a window seat.
Yeah.
So I'll be taking some video footage of that, and that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Might go ahead and put my compass just to make sure it's a little over the little screen on the back of the seat. Just a few things that maybe sometimes on a flight you wished you'd had or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Like a parachute.
yeah, well, like a parachute. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
No,
I
but
flew
do
to
you
Denver.
think? I know I already went, but do you think that there's like people from the Flat Earth Society that will go to Flattoberfest, or do you think it's like the sports thing? Like there's the AFC and the NFC. that they like hate each other or something like that? Like, hey, don't go
I
to.
have to say, I'm popping my cherry on this one. I've never been to one before. I'm not really sure exactly what to expect. I've got kind of an idea, but I don't know. I'll see. Full report afterwards, that's for sure. But I know there's going to be some cool people there. Brian Stabley's going to be there. A few other people from the YouTube streets and whatnot are going to be around. That'll be nice.
Oh man, I want to go, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, we're going a couple days early so that we can get our desert on.
Oh, totally, dude.
I miss my desert so freaking bad.
Yeah.
I got to get back into it, man. I like to.
I'm lucky. I'm where the desert meets the forest. I got videos. Yeah, it's cool.
I mean, what is that? Is that the Truckee River runs up through? Yeah. It goes right along the highway.
Yeah,
it's real pretty up through there, man. That's really pretty up through there.
Yeah, right on, man.
Yeah, I've been all over the place, man, up through there and shit.
Yeah,
up and down California, Nevada, Arizona. Arizona is interesting too because it's got like all different types of climate and terrain.
Yeah,
like you get up there near Scottsdale and it's cold as shit. You know, it's not hot. You think Arizona's hot. It's just pretty temperate in Scottsdale. But then you roll down and get down toward Kingman and that area and shit. It's hotter than a fucking bitch.
Ultra hot, yeah. But there's snowboarding in Arizona and stuff, though.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that one. What's that mountain? It's that snow-capped mountain. You see it from all over the fucking place, man. You see that all the time. Snow on it.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah, New Mexico too's got some mountains too. Yeah.
And then Joe from Albuquerque, he was in here just a few minutes ago, I think. He lives out there. We were talking about that. It's like Albuquerque's like where the color starts.
Yeah.
That's because you come through that Great Divide, and all of a sudden the geography's different now. So you've got like all these reds and oranges and pale yellows and shit, and it's like beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna see all of it eventually, for sure, man.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody that came out here tonight, and
thank you, buddy.
We'll see if we can't get this little problem, but we're not going to stop. We're going to keep know that we can still maintain our show, even if we go into hyperspace from time to time. We're going to address every bit of the problems. That's okay. $68 million a day. We should be able to get something working, right?
Yeah, I steered people this way too. On my show on Saturday night, I did a show. I'm gonna do another one. And I told people come check out Solid Soul. Yep, for sure. Yep.
All right, brother. Well, let's put your link. The private chat right now.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll throw it out there into the chat.
Yeah. Sounds good, man.
So go ahead and do it right now. Go ahead. So
okay. I don't know how. I don't know if I can or not. Let me see.
You see where the private chat's at?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So just type it down there in the chat or copy it and paste it from whatever. We'll put that in there, and then that people. Moonbounce, you don't have a channel, do you?
No.
No. So yeah, I always like to give content creators, that are on here, a little, let them promote what they've got, so that we can.
Yeah, I'm low key. I just have my phone. I don't even use a computer or nothing. I stay under the radar.
That's funny.
I'm one of those people. I don't know why. When I'm like, they say you could get on a list. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm trying to get to be the first name on that list. Let's go.
Yeah.
Bring that shit. I don't fear these things. I don't fear these people. Did you get it?
No. Yeah.
You put it in the private chat or because I don't see it.
I'll put it in the private chat right now.
Yeah, because I don't
know.
Here
we go.
Yeah, it won't show up in the regular.
See, I'm getting quick now, man. Let's see. Now it won't let me chat in the private. It won't let me type on it for some reason.
All right, just say hi in the regular chat for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Don't put
a. There it is. There's a private chat one, but it won't let me do a copy paste. Let me see.
All right, there's something. Oh, it
there's
said
something
hi.
now.
Okay.
There we go. Bam. There you go. Yep.
Dude,
Sweet, buddy.
it was
Thank you, man.
successful. I'm going to copy that, and we're going to put that over here in the regular chat for everybody. And this is
Mr.
Joe
Super
King's-
Sideliner comes on with me. Yep.
This is Joe King's channel, so everybody go over there, give it a look, see if you like it, subscribe, give him some
Thank you,
thumbs
buddy.
up. Let's get him boosted through the algorithm and shit, man. Let me see.
Appreciate it, man.
Wow. There, you just got another subscriber, Joe.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, everybody. So,
All right, buddy.
all right, everybody. Take
Peace.
care. Like to thank everybody that showed up in the chat. We're going to get our little problem worked out. I'm seeing some correlations here between some things we might have to look into. So, like we always like to say, Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See a doctor and fire his ass. And we'll see you next time here on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Good night, everybody.